Welcome back, everybody. It's Talent League, and well, you actually have an American in the booth. I have to apologize in advance for, well, intoxicating your screens. But Blixby is here, and Blix, I have to question, what do we have in store for us today?
Today actually is going to be quite an interesting game. We do get to see team. I don't want to butcher the pronunciation of this thing, but Carlstad versus Blue Jays, and I mean they've both shown very promising games so far in the previous seasons, and yeah, it's going to be a good one to watch. Honestly, I believe this is now the semi-finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is the second semis.
Second semis.
I gotta wonder who's making it to the finals. I'm looking at our standings, and Major Season 5 standings had Carlstad up at 6-2 with a draw in the middle, but they only had 2 rounds on the positive side of the round count, so they were close games through and through. Or the 2 games that they lost, they just got smashed.
Yeah.
So it's really up to how they can play. But looking at the minor Season 5 standings for Blue Jays, that was scary. They were 12-1-0. They didn't drop a single game. They had a single draw, and 37 points through what could have been 40. So scary, but very, very good for them.
And 24 round difference as well in the minor standings. They, compared to Carlstad, who were kind of close throughout their entire games, even though they're both very good positioners here, Blue Jays does seem to have the domination compared to Carlstad, and I wonder if it's going to show through in the game today. Because
We'll have to see. It's the maps for today. I have to say, really excited for at least one of the maps. Cafe, not gonna lie to you, least favorite map to cast. However, it always
Really?
brings very, very close maps, so it's not awful entirely. It will be our first map, of course. We then go from Cafe to Bank. We're gonna see who can heist the vault a little better, and of course, Clubhouse, the great equalizer, will be the final map of today. I have to be honest, with Blue Jays picking out Bank, I feel like they have such a huge favor in their advantage, just because Cafe is a normal scrim map. You have Bank, which is their pick, and they should wreck on it, considering their record and the fact that it is their pick. And then Clubhouse is the most played map in Rainbow Six Siege at this point. So everybody knows what to do. It's just a matter of who can shoot better.
I mean, like with the changes recently as well on Bank and Clubhouse, even though they're so minor, they could make a very, very big difference in the way these maps are getting played. Especially with like Clubhouse, Bar Stock, we could potentially actually see it in play. Even though you do see it every here and there. I mean, with like the changes behind the bar and stuff, it is a lot more playable now. As well as Bank. Honestly, I have no idea what to expect with the casting on Bank. It's gonna be my first game ever watching it. I'm not entirely certain what the changes are. So this is gonna be a fun one for me. I mean, Cafe is gonna be my comfort map for this best of three. Since you gotta love Cafe, man. Sorry by the way for my camera being extremely laggy, but I gotta love a good bit of Cafe. It's just there's so many different variations to play the map. Like you got your 3 floors, and like you can either turtle everything, complete roam heavy. You can play completely ranked heavy or just completely strategic. Like there's so many different variations to play Cafe, and like it's personally one of my favorite to cast. Oh jeez, my camera is so laggy. It's okay. We move.
Yeah, Cafe, the main reason I'm not a huge fan of it is because it's so consistent on the attacker side of things. If the opposing team's on the top floor, you're either going from the top down on the red side, trying to clear out that top skylight, and maybe pushing in through white or over towards the bakery side, clearing out that room if needed. But other than that, if they are anywhere but the bar, you're going from the top down. You're breaking down the hatches, you're breaking down through skylight, and it's a very consistent take. That is the one thing I am not a huge fan of about Cafe. However, it is very consistent, and whichever team can show up and, well, walk through their roam clears, bide their time correctly, and manage their time correctly, they'll be the ones victorious on said map.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when it comes to like moving on to like clubhouse now as well, I mean that also to me is a very default sort of map. Like it is going to be played the exact same way every single time without fail, both on the defenses and on the attacks. Like there are different ways to play the map, but obviously the whole default there's one way to play it at the end of the day. Like it's going to be the same attack. Either they're going to, for example, CC, they're either going to push completely from construction, which isn't as common to just fully go for garage and breach, and it's going to be kind of, I'd imagine anyway, quite repetitive. That's why Clubhouse, I hate casting it. It's so overdone, but it's got to be done. It's got to be done. I mean, it is a favorite after all.
I vote we toss the map pull out. We go to Bartlett Airplane, and the best map in the entire game. I don't care what anybody says. Favela.
Absolutely. You know what? I would cast that. I would pay to cast that. I don't. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. The winner of this, they go on to play Noetic, and I'm looking at our standings, and of course, Carlstad had to play Noetic before in the Season 5 Major, and lost. And of course, Noetic did go 9-0-0 with a 12-round differential, which is not as much as you'd expect for a team that went flawless. But that means they won every game by 1 round, other than 3 games, which they won by 2, which is not as much as you'd expect, especially from a team that looks, at least on paper, as dominant as they are.
Sorry. Yeah, I was just reading through the stuff in the chat here, but yeah, I am actually really excited to see this. I am extremely excited to see how this game goes in the end. I mean, they're 2 very, very strong teams, and I'm not too familiar with Carlstad, but I have watched BLUEJAYS play a couple of times, and they actually destroy. I've seen the individuals players play too, and I'm pretty sure I've played against a couple of them at ranked once or twice. They are very, very good players. Carlstad, again, I'm not too familiar with them myself, but I mean, they definitely have shown they have what it takes to get to the top. So we've got 2.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how they play. But first, we do have a little bit of a technical difficulty. Some antivirus and moss issues are going on. So we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to kill the spider that is on the wall behind my computer. So when we come back, we'll have Cafe on the board for you. Don't go anywhere.
It's magnetic the way you pull me.
We are back. Brief apologies, and, well, sorry that happened. Unfortunately, with Rainbow Six Siege and some antivirus things, nothing we can prevent. But we're in here nonetheless. We have our bands already going. Carlstad are starting on the defensive side, and on their own map pick. So it could be beneficial for them. I honestly have to see how well they can play it, but just looking straight at it, Blix, I feel like they have a little bit of a better spot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in my time of casting, Cafe has definitely seemed to be more of the defender side of the map, especially if the teams know what they're doing. Like, as you were saying previously, attacking is so one-dimensional. Well, typically it can be kind of swapped about, but typically it's very one-dimensional. So you're gonna go for this top-down, and as long as the defenders are aware of this kind of default sort of play and play against it, it's gonna be a very easy first half for them. Depending on the way Blue Jays play, of course.
Yeah, and we'll just have to see how it goes for them. We will see Jackal and Wamai off the board, along with Thatcher, but I don't even want to mention Thatcher. It's a normal
no
band
point
nowadays. On today's episode of Surprising Absolutely Nobody, the SAS EMP is off the board. Final ban will come through. It is Carlstad to ban out the Mira. So both of the Spanish operators are off the board. Unfortunate for the Spaniards or any of you in the chat, but, well, Jackal and Mira are gone.
I mean, the Mira ban is very typical of Cafe, in all honesty. I mean, she is quite strong on reading, mining, even top floor. I've even started to see some really good kitchen plays with the Mira, so understandable, even though she can be countered, getting her off the board does prevent you having to waste your time trying to clear her out. I mean, again, the Wamai as well also makes a decent amount of sense, even though, again, we have other variations such as Jaeger and the Aruni, which can deny the same amount of similar style towards the utility. You know, taking that one off the board does eliminate that one factor to worry about. Although the lineup here is looking quite interesting. We do get to see a Flores in play, which honestly isn't played enough from what I've seen. I got the Ayana as well, you know, providing plenty of intel for the side of the attackers.
Yeah, Hunter using one of the most effective strategies, picking from one operator back onto that exact same operator. It's extremely effective, really confuses the other team. I don't think many people really expect it. But this Valkyrie making an appearance, Valkyrie is my main. The MPX may be a pea shooter and only deals paper cuts from a distance, but it's my pea shooter that only deals paper cuts from a distance, so I accept it as my own. One thing I am surprised about is that we see a Vigil on the board in competitive play. Not something you usually see put in, well, because even though he has that cloaking ability from any intel utility thrown in, i.e. the Gemini, even from Ayana, it's still given away, at least the position, from those white bars on the bottom of your screen, and anybody who has played against a Vigil knows exactly the bars I mean.
This is going to be a really exciting looking defense as of right now, since it's not a good complete turtle. There are two players on the roam. I guess you can kind of expect that from the lineup they had. You know, the Vigil to deny the intel from the attackers, the Mozzie as well to deny these drones coming through, and the Mute also as the intel coming from the side of the Mozzie drones, the Valkyrie cameras, and the Echo drones as well. So they have a lot built around the just not being able to find them at the moment, and with only two players, I believe, in sight right now, it could be a bit risky for them to keep going for this sort of play, since all the attackers have to do here is apply a lot of pressure straight directly into sight, and it, you know, it will kind of cause them to have to relocate themselves quite quickly.
One good thing for the Blue Jays here is that they are not facing the top floor. They do not have any flank denial whatsoever. And another issue for this time Carlstad is that Mute Jammer does not get the entire wall. So Thermite has already opened up that main bakery wall in towards kitchen. And that's an issue, as they're trying to play more of a flank setup, and it's very difficult to hold things down when you're almost given the entirety of site over to the attackers.
You know, with the bakery wall already open, it's going to be quite difficult for any sort of attacker or the defenders to play within kitchen. Obviously, they still have got the vertical holes in play to deny anyone walking straight through. It does eliminate one massive portion of sight, and the first kill coming out from the side of Carlstad will go onto Neon, and that is who's off the ball. Thermite, actually. They already have breach open. It's not that big of a pick as of right now, but it's the first bit of action we've seen so far.
Yeah, Zarek also taking some damage across, and that's in from Christmas, which makes your life a little bit difficult, especially with your main fragger, that of course being Ash, taking some damage relatively early in the round. There is still 60 seconds left over, so they will find out there is one player above, and Hunter's looking to clear that out. But someone is also holding that, and no, I don't mean a random person. I actually mean the guy named someone who's playing the Vigil. But they seem like they've run away. They don't want to deal with anything, at least not as of right now. While Hunter opens up that window above red stairs, they're still not going to pressure as much as they should.
Yeah, 39 seconds left on the board, and even though they have got this breach open, and I think they kind of have some sort of control over the second floor as of right now, they have 30 seconds to push it into site right now. They have the defuse in hand, but not enough intel onto where these defenders are actually playing from.
Push looks to come in. Nate is prepped, but no, instead this Flores decides to just hold it in hand. Will be the Vigil to make their way down red, but nobody is at the bottom of red. It's only the buck above, and everybody else is playing in towards kitchen, and still is just waiting and biding their time. They're gonna play perfectly as well. Prone behind the bar, gets that diffuser down, and with very little time left over, it's the yokai drone to stun them. It is the diffuser to look to be planted, but it's only one left alive. The round ends, and the defense wins it. They just did not play their time well enough. They had so much time left on the board once they had the attack set up in Bakery, but it just does not go their way.
I mean, yeah, they took control of Bakery so quickly within that round. They got that breach open, and then decided to go for a top floor kind of take. It just took them so long to try and clear out this Vigil that it became, quite difficult for them then to actually enter into sight. And by the time they had only 30 seconds left, they had no idea where the Valkyrie is prone behind the desk since they didn't have time to drone it out, and that kind of inevitably caused their fail. And I think we'll go a quick pause.
Yeah, we do have a little bit of a tech pause. Unfortunately, just our restream not functioning properly, and unfortunately it does happen. We're going to send it to a tech pause. Stick with us. When we return, we promise it'll be a functional map of Cafe. Don't go anywhere.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Welcome back, everybody. Nice of you to join us back. It is Carlstad now up two rounds to 0. Unfortunately, due to a little bit of a technical issue, we did not get the balls up in time. So they just played out round number 2. They won the bar upstairs, and then before that, they of course won kitchen on stream. So apologies for the technical delays. We should be okay, and I say should be because you never really know. It is Rainbow Six Siege. But Blix joining me. They're gonna head to Reading, and Reading usually being the tertiary site to be played. What are we expecting? Do you think it's going to be more of a vertical hold, or are they going to play separate off-site horizontal?
I mean, like, even though they have had a little bit of variations in their hold, when it comes to Reading, it is just going to be a complete. You typically see them holding cocktail and then having like a little bit going on inside. That tends to be the go-to Reading hold that I see quite frequently. So I'm imagining the same sort of thing, especially since they were playing so heavily on the vertical when it comes to kitchen. The side of the attackers, is, as you mentioned previously, it's going to be the same sort of kind of one where you push, got to go top down. I mean, it's kind of what's essential, to be honest, to take control of Reading. Oh, good. I'm going on with it now. Ooh, we do see a knock actually pushing in through bakery. Potentially going to go for like a little crouch walk up red stairs. Possibly to try and catch them off. That could be interesting.
That's their goal, but in Rainbow Six Siege, you know, nothing ever goes to plan, so we'll have to see if it does come true for them. The nice thing about us not rehosting thus far is that, well, everybody still has their KDs, other than Ethan, of course, who is 0 and 0. I'm pretty sure they've actually taken a couple fights thus far, so I don't think they're actually 0 and 0. I could be completely wrong, and I've actually just not seen anybody at all. But Zarok making their way now up these red stairs and bringing out the knock that does allow for both the information and sound, well, taken off the board. And now that FMG has been shot out, well, they know where they are.
That's a black ice, but I just want to comment on that real quick. Looking very snazzy there on the knock. They had something going on there, you know. They did manage to get control of red stairs, but I mean, second they shot that shot and give away their position. Now that I'm sure the defenders are a bit more conscious of the horizontal sort of push that the attackers are going for.
We're just gonna look across, and playing prone in this position, if they don't check it, it's the best position you could possibly play in. But other than that, you could be out of everything if it does go poorly for you. Splits is gonna look down using these Argus cams, but Sam Fisher, yet to see anybody this far.
It's quite handy just to have them up, just in case the defenders decide to go for a little bit of a flank. Since both teams still have all 5 players on the board. There's only 43 seconds left on the clock, and as I was saying, that Hunter gets taken out by Askell, and Askell does get left now at about 20 HP. Not a really good situation for himself, but I mean, they still have the man advantage here. Only 30 seconds left on the clock, and they still have no control over this site. It's looking really, really in favour of the defenders right now, I have to be honest with you.
20 seconds, it's looking that way. Someone taking a little bit of damage from across. That T5 is not going to get you as far as you'd like, my friend. They're going to continue to peek, but with this SMG-11 in the close right position, will it be peeked into? In goes the flash, but someone gets the kill nonetheless. The diffuser's down. That box is on the ground. They need to deal with it quickly, but it won't happen. Askell gets the kill onto control. Zarok is dropped. It's Splits left alone. Sam Fisher will only get one before being dropped. Carlstad King is complete the rotation and only drop a single player here on Reading.
I mean, the defenders are doing a pretty good job at wasting the attackers' time here. They kind of position themselves in places where you know, the attackers have to spend time trying to clear them out and then just completely falling off, which is a really good thing to see. And even though the attackers are utilising their zero, utilising the floor outs, having so much intel available on board, they're spending so much time trying to clear out things that it's just giving it time for the defenders to just reposition themselves. Like, they get spotted, they just move, and the attackers aren't really pushing up much on it. So by 40 seconds there, they'd only taken control over mining and train, which it can be good, but that sort of push is a quick push, because the second the defenders realise, okay, this is horizontal, they can just drop off the vertical, or even keep just one person up there and just focus on this one push. So it really wasn't the play. I mean, the knock kind of give away with the shooty shots there, but they need to speed up their game. That's what they need to do. Kind of when they take control, they need to go along with it. Because they're taking it and then doing a little bit of a standstill. I'm not sure what's going on with that one, but maybe they're just a bit nervous. You know, a big game, just a bit nervous. First map, a bit of a warm-up. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt that it's gonna, second rotation over, it's gonna be good to go from here.
That's their goal. I don't know if it's going to continue. Of course, this could just go 3 rounds back the way of Blue Jays. You never really know.
Okay.
I want to question, will Carlstad keep with what they were doing the previous time they were on the bottom floor? And looking at their operator lineup, that looks to be the case. You can see the mute yet again, the Mozzie back on the board. Those 2 C4s, along with the C4 of Instill, will all be there for the plant denial. And then Blue having those yokais. You have 4 of your 5 operators. Arguably, those impacts could even help with the plant denial on the board to deny those early plants.
I mean, Blue Jays haven't really been going for much of an early plant so far, but since it is looking like similar defense as they had previously, I'm hoping the Blue Jays can predict this and kind of go for and just know what they have to clear out in preparation for this attack. I mean, it does seem to go for a bit of a change here, going for this white side garage take as opposed to going straight to bakery, which could be a bit more beneficial for them, but even still, they're going to have to clear out these rumors from above in order to take any sort of control within sight, since verticals are such a big part of this map.
Yeah, and with a lot of these sites as well, it's a devil to deal with if you cannot get those vertical angles locked down. They will start to open things up as that exothermic charge goes off, but Zarok getting taken out in still with the C4 onto splits. This is not looking good. Askell finishes off Zarok. It's into the 5 versus 4. Carlstad up 3 players, and there's still 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, 1 minute 40 seconds left. You have 1 player on Repel, and I'm not entirely certain where this thermite is playing. I think he is in freezer still. And never mind that, it's him taken out and leaving Hunter now left in a 1v5 situation. It's ace or nothing here for Blue Jays. It's not looking too good for them. I mean, it's still possible, to be honest with you, but unlikely is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, they say anything is possible, but in this situation, I don't think that is the case. You would need to kill, well, 5 very dangerous players, and, well, now that he's just singing and sitting over in the back alley, I don't think they're going to go for it. It looks like they're going to go for a timeout, maybe, just hanging out here. It's basically a tactical timeout, sitting here in a 1 versus 5, but they're continuing to take these fights, and this is not going to go their way. They will get 1 kill, but now down to 50 seconds, and they still need to find 4 players, and 3 of which are, well, above that 90 HP mark, and Ethan just doesn't care. He's still peeking around. No care in the world from this guy.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I mean, that was coming for him realistically here. He's just kind of boosting up this KD, and more than likely, I'm imagining that Blue Jays are kind of discussing now, like, right, okay, this isn't working, and kind of how to shape it up ready for the next round. They've had 1 minute 40 to kind of discuss it amongst themselves as to how to prepare themselves. I'm hoping that they kind of, you know, realize, okay, this is what we need to do. What it is they need to do? Not entirely certain, but I'm sure they know. Actually,
Oh, well, winning gunfights like that will help, but no,
Never mind.
it does not go their way. Unfortunate, but in comes that push, and out goes the buck. The round goes the way of Carlstad, and just the Blue Jays not winning their gunfights.
I mean, he did get a nice little 3-piece added onto his leaderboard, if nothing else. Good little stat boost. But we will go back to Bar Cocktail, which we didn't actually get to previously see on stream. So this is new to everybody else who had seen, but from our knowledge, Carlstad did actually dominate on their previous defense here. It was a complete wipe from what I had heard. So maybe to be able to do it again, the Castle is an interesting pick, in my opinion, at least. I don't particularly enjoy Castle being played. I feel like he can be quite the crutch, and sometimes if played incorrectly, he can actually be more beneficial for the attackers. But, I mean, they've definitely shown they are a good team, so I'm sure they'll be able to handle playing a Castle.
That is the goal. It doesn't usually happen. The Castle being effective, of course, does not usually go their way. But here, I want to question, what are they going to do with it? You have the option of just walking around and shooting people like a chicken with your head cut off, using that UMP that has basically no recoil whatsoever. But there's a little bit of an issue with that, and it really looks like they're going to try and lock down this cigar side.
I mean, it's an interesting decision, but I mean, the windows are still able to be used by the attackers here. Single repel in Cigar and whatever. It's a cigar shop, I suppose. They could have more of a play in. Since there is no like capital on board, it will be quite easy to kill it in. They have got the Ash. But again, the Aruni gates will deny the Ash being able to open up the Carlstad arcade from the windows, which is a very big thing. I like that.
Massive, absolutely massive. Right? You are not wrong at all. Hunter is going to go to the top floor, and I have to say, extremely surprising strat here, sending your sledge to the top floor. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I'm not entirely certain as to what's going to be the push here from the side of the attackers. I think they're just preparing themselves ready on windows to go for complete jumping by the looks of it. I think they're all just waiting.
Biding their time is not a terrible thing, especially when you're on the attacking side, but you can't do so for too long. They haven't even made entry into the building yet, and there's still 2 minutes left in the round, or we're already a minute in, but in goes the first player. They have dropped red, and with these hatches broken, they are going to see what they can do with it, but that thermite, there's a mute jammer right below. You got to deal with that, and nobody's done so
Oh,
thus
the
far,
swing!
and oh no.
And
Blue gets the kill. Control's taken out. This is awful.
This does not look like a good start for Blue Jays here, even though they did manage to get top red control. Breach was completely muted off, and there goes someone actually. So that is a mute taken off the board, who I believe was playing in the Pixel region, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah,
they have
and
just rotated
they were
themselves
just
around and put Carlstad in place, and Carlstad does get the kill onto Splizz. They are at the man advantage. Yes, again, it is looking very, very good for Carlstad. I can't lie to you, it is looking very much in their favour as of right now. Ooh, this is...
Neuron's going to make their way forward, and with this M4 in hand, they're going to try and yeet the nade through. It's been popped. The nade goes in. Does it hit? Yes, it does.
Ooh.
And still's taken down, but they're only down for the time being. Their teammate could still pick them up if they get the opportunity to do so, and the information on them being down should not be there. They have crawled around that wall, so they will be okay when that second nade goes through, but the push is continuing in. Blue's looking across, as is Neuron. Neither of them peeking around, neither of them giving away their position, and now down to 30 seconds. Neither of them has died yet.
28. Oh, there goes. Okay, the Maverick is now taking it off the board with a 4v2 situation left, with 20 seconds left on the board. The smokes do come out and take damage onto the smoke, leaving him about 10 HP. 4v2 situation. 3v2, sorry, 3v1. So, everything's happening so quickly. It's 9 seconds left on the board. Ash gonna have to clutch up this 1v3 Ash, sorry, Sledge. I'm completely butchering this up right now. So much is happening at once, but no, unfortunately, Sledge does get taken out by the Aruni. I am completely waffling. That happened so quickly. Oh jeez.
You are waffling, but
You're not wrong. It's what I am good at. It happened so quickly. I mean, it was looking at a disadvantage to them to begin with, in complete honesty. But I mean, second they decided, okay, it's 30 seconds left. They went for this push, which was the play to go for, I do believe. But they kind of just losing their gunfights there, taking one by one off the board, leaving it in a 1v3 situation with 9 seconds left on the clock. And if I'm not mistaken, was Diffuser still top red?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Yeah,
They did not pick that up. They didn't really have a chance at that. I think they picked it up and moved it over towards Cigar, but it was still on the ground, and there wasn't much they could do with it. Unfortunate, I have to say, for the Blue Jays, but Carlstad now up on 5 on, well, their own map pick. I was saying the Blue Jays are looking a little better, but to be honest with you, I don't like their shot here. Even with the standings being massively in their favor, of course, it was the Major Season 5 versus the Minor Season 5. It's a question of, well, what'll happen. Yeah, we've had the stream die. Apologies for that one. We are going to send it to a technical pause unless it refreshes and functions properly. I hit refresh and it's dying. Yeah, we're going to send it to a technical pause. We're gonna rehost really quick. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Again, apologies for technical difficulties. I blame Blix. It's yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah, it tends to be my fault when it comes to issues like this.
Yeah. We have restarted at round 6, so the round that you briefly saw did not count. Nothing really happened in the round anyway. Carlstad are still up 5-0. They're going to head back to the reading and fireplace room, which they won relatively convincing the last time around.
I mean, they won majority of their sites relatively convincing each
True.
time round, to be honest with you. I don't want to put that on Blue Jays, but Blue Jays need to kind of step up their game to get this one attack round at the very least, to kind of put themselves at some sort of stand. I mean, right now it's looking really, really against their favour, but I suppose the switcheroo could completely change that around. Who knows?
Who doesn't love a good old switcheroo? But, I mean, heading back to this reading room, last time around, they drastically swept it. I'm just going to go with that. They lost a single player, and that was in this position right here, to a wide peak that was completely unnecessary in the last quarter second of the game. So, yeah, that's about all that the Blue Jays could muster that time around. Looking at our setup here, I like the reinforcements they're setting up. They want to lock down both the train room and over towards pillars, which makes perfect sense. And, of course, you have a little bit of a vertical play as well. Not as much as you're used to seeing, especially over in NA, but I'm NA, so I would know that a little too much.
I mean, the attackers have got a bit of a different lineup here on out. They haven't got the knock, which I guess didn't really work for them previously, but they have got the lion in play, which, with the amount of rumours that Carlstad have been bringing along and stuff, I suppose that could be a little bit more helpful for them, so they don't spend as much time just droning about. They can pop a scan and then know if they are moving, or whether, you know, they can actually be more conscious of where they are, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one's going to favor them more, whether playing off-site will help them or if it'll kill them because of the line being here. Do you think that they're just going to hold W onto site on this Blue Jay side, or do you think they're going to try and play more strategically than that?
I'm not entirely certain, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't even know what the full hold actually is as of right now. I'll be completely honest. But hey, let's go.
Yeah, we saw a C4 go out from Askell. That went out towards the new hatch. It actually just didn't hit anything and didn't do any damage either. So a little bit of a wasted bit of utility there. But they're going to drop right into him and kill him as well.
Oh.
Hunter takes out Askell. Down goes that mute. And with the C4 already being off the board, not as much of a utilitarian advantage as you'd expect. But I got a question. What was the mute just doing chilling in the corner?
That was a ballsy drop from Blue Jays. I can't lie to you. I mean, the double drop makes sense, even if Mute was able to get the kill onto one of them. The second one would be able to get that refrag. But, I mean, the pre-fire cut on the way down was definitely the play. I mean, that's
Oh my goodness.
a double pistol kill coming out from the side of Carlstad.
John Wick?
Oh my gosh.
John Wick is upon us, ladies and gents. That was rude. Instill will instill a bit of paper cuts onto Hunter and take him out. It's now into the 2 versus 4, and the vertical play is basically all that's left over here. As well, I'm taking a look over at where Xerac is, and they have just dropped into red. And there's 60 seconds left in the round. They've barely established any real estate control other than the top floor, and they have 2 nades left over, along with the sledgehammer. That's the extent of their utility on this attack.
They are running out of time slowly but surely. Still got 40 seconds left on the clock, but with a 2v4 situation, not really much to go off of either. It's not... It is looking like it's going to go for a 6-0 in favour of Carlstad, if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
I'm going to try and play information off this verticality, but a little impact will go in. And actually, no, it was a nade that came through from Neron. It doesn't hit anything, but that will. Neron gets the kill onto someone. Down goes that Legion. And another nade's prepped. Will it go in? It looks to do so, and will only do about 20 damage as well. Blue now dropped to that 100 HP mark, but being dropped to 100 HP late in the round, not a terrible thing. No C4s are left over, so there's no utility to deny a plant, but their peak is down goes Xerac. It's going to be a 6-0 finish. Carlstad Kings sweeping the defensive side.
That is rough from Blue Jays. They're just not giving themselves enough time to work with, realistically, here. I mean, right at the end there, I suppose they did only have 2 players left, like literally a minute left on board. But they're just only within the last 20 seconds are they deciding to actually try to execute something, which in some occasions can work, but with the lack of control that they are gathering within the first 2.5 minutes, it's just not enough for them to actually go for that quick last 20 seconds execute, especially with the C4s on board, the impacts that the defenders will bring in, and it's just... But hey, we're on the defense now for the side of Blue Jays. Potentially they could be a bit more of a defensive team. We already see the Valkyrie, got the Echo, both providing intel. Echo with the plant denial as well. The Mute denying the intel from the side of the attackers, which I'm going to imagine that Carlstad used quite a bit of, since they have seemed to be quite organised with one another. They seem to do have a good amount of communication.
We're going to see 4 nades brought out. Hold up. Wait, is my math wrong? No, my math isn't wrong. There's a UI bug. If you look at the top left and you see 6 nades, they don't have 6 nades.
Yeah,
I was looking at it, I'm like, wait, only Ayana and Sledge have nades. But no, we're good.
It's a bit of a strange bug, that, but it's Ubisoft. What can you say?
You make a fair point. I'm also pretty sure there are not 3 shields on the defense. You can see it's only Echo here and Hunter here that bring shields, but the UI says they have 3 of them. I disagree, Ubisoft, but, you know, that's your prerogative. If you want to make that decision, you're more than welcome to do so. A little bit of misinformation in the UI, but I think we'll be okay.
It seems like a pretty default kind of freezer hold here from the side of the defense. Love to see it. Nothing to fault with it, to be honest with you. Unless the attackers decide to go from below up, using the nades they have could be quite detrimental for the smoke playing in freezer. You kind of don't want to be losing the smoke too early on.
Yeah, those toxic babes you need to delay the usage of. You never want to throw them out like with a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the round, because then you don't have them for plant denial later in the round. And the extent of the plant denial on the side is the C4 from Mute and the Yokais, and of course the toxic canisters. But those may have to be used a little earlier. Surprisingly, Xerac has impacts. I'm not really sure what they're doing here, but impacts are on the board.
a risky play playing directly below the skylight. I can't lie. If you've got the confidence, why not, I guess?
Yeah, nobody's really challenging, so they're free to do really whatever they want at this point. But, well, they're throwing some stuns in towards Pixel, and it is going to be Neuron holding in that direction. But Neuron just backs out. They don't want to deal with it. Can't blame them.
Yeah, keeping that man advantage to later round is probably the play to go for here. I mean, he lost control of Cigar regardless. The amount of utility that got burned, he kind of played his role either way. They haven't even taken control on the nade kill coming out onto the Valkyrie.
Where is Instill? What? Where is he? Oh my! No, it was the nade straight through the skylight. Oh
Was
no.
he still below the skylight?
I believe we have found out where the Valkyrie died. Maybe not. Where? Oh no, the nade went all the way through.
Oh.
Oh my.
How would he then?
I'm surprised it didn't get caught by an ADS. There needs to be an ADS there.
With the amount of utility that got thrown at the start of the round, I'm sure it got burnt. We still see 2 flashes in the hands of the Nomad, so this player in Freezer is going to be completely flushed out, I do believe.
We're going to see them start to establish a attack here on this west side of the building. In comes the peek from the Iona, in towards bathroom, but they're not expecting the close range. Mossberg spills very close range, gets the free frag, and they're just giving that one for absolutely nothing. They're looking to dual prong it. In comes the Sludge Peak. Will they get the kill? No, they won't. The Echo shuts it down. The MP5 SD getting the kill there, but it's turned right back. In comes the push. They do establish themselves onto the site, but Blue, having to push straight through toxic canisters, will tick them down. The shots will come through. It's a double so far for Hunter. They're going to look to close things out, but they cannot do so. Neuron picking up the final frag with that MPX will turn it in their favor. Sorry, the 416 will turn it in their favor. And Blue Jays win a round.
Wow. We actually see Blue Jays a round up, so it's not going to be a complete 7-0 wipe. Maybe this is the turnaround they're looking for. Pulling this to OT, Blue Jays being the underdogs to pull through, who knows? It's possible. It's very possible. And after that performance, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, a bit of a risky play having the Valkyrie just dilly-dally under skylight, but I mean, it kind of paid off for them, to be honest with you. They did waste up time doing all this droning, throwing out the utility, trying to clear out all their players. But I mean, the Jaeger falling off was definitely cool, and the smoke rotating straight out of Freezer when he's getting flashed out. I guess they just did not know that he had been moved. Just sitting behind the corner with a shotgun. But hey, Blue Jays, come on, you got to pull a second round through. I've got some faith in you now, Blue Jays. Don't let me down.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I still don't like their chances. Carlstad have been such a dominant squad thus far, and even though they're on the attack, and which of course we talked about is the historically disadvantageous side, you need to win rounds, and Blue Jays in the first half just didn't do that. The closest thing to a comeback I've seen is from 5-1. I have never seen a 6-0 comeback all the way to overtime, so I'd like to see one. I'm not going to lie. If Blue Jays brought it all the way back, that would be awesome, but I just don't think it's going to get that far.
One thing I have to comment on that looks a bit, compared to the two teams, in my opinion at least, Blue Jays, their entire defenses and even their attacks actually seemed very almost scripted. Like they knew what they were going to go for and they kind of just did it. When it didn't go in their favour, they were at a little bit of a standstill. Whereas Carlstad seem to be very, very well organised with one another, and the communication seems to be there, and they're kind of just rotating off with each other. So they get the call, they're going for the kill. They got control, they're pushing through. If one by one, they actually know what's happening within each other. Whereas, like I said, Blue Jays seem to just be very do this and that's done. Not a lot of improv going on.
Neuron is the lone player on the top floor here. They are playing over towards this white stairs side, and they have been droned out. So the information's given over. The Jaeger will be forced out of position. Will the peek come through? Not in time. Just barely missing is that Sophia. The LMG just, well, not quick enough. And you have to be a little quicker on your feet if you want to catch the running German. But they will not get there in time. And, well, the top floor is already clear, and we still got 2 minutes left in the round.
Sorry, I should probably be speaking here, but I'm just kind of more focused on what's going on. I'm just trying to pay attention to this. I mean, yeah, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. They have cleared out top floor. They realise, okay, there's nobody up on Rome. I don't believe anybody's actually on room on the second floor either, so it does look like they're completely turtled within sight. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just-
Nobody on the top floor here, or on either of the two top floors here from this Blue Jays defense. And that's questionable considering they want to try and lock things down. Already giving away vertical control is not what you want early on, and the peek's going to come through. Will it hit? No. Someone actually being found out, and Hunter hits the one tap with the ALDA. Dropping nice shot in chat is someone, and for a justifiable reason. Good night, my friend.
That was just rude, but a wonderful shot. I have to agree with him there.
Oh no. Oh, Hunter, lucky are you to be alive, my friend. They will continue to push onto him, and the damage, that's going to come through. Down goes that Maestro. The ALDA will have no further effect, and the Evilizer off the board. That nade does not go through. It actually hurts Askell more than it does anybody else on this defense. And now down to 30 seconds. It's the 4 versus 4. Carlstad's still looking to close things out.
4v4 situation, 26 seconds left on the clock. It's looking a bit slow, but I mean, they have got the verticals. They got the pick onto the Maestro. They are at a good position right now. I suppose as long as they manage to actually push down, like maybe red stairs, something of the sort, it could be very winnable for them. But it's gonna be a very, very close amount of time as the kill goes out onto splits.
Oh no, Neuron only gets one before being taken out. It's still available, and the diffuser will be planted. But no, the yokai can't get through. Can it in time? No, it won't. It gets taken out. That yokai will not make it through. The diffuser will be planted. Echo rendered useless. It's into this 1 versus 3. They're going to continue to push in, and they will try and keep the Blue Jays alive. They will revive their teammate first, and now down to about 30 seconds or so before this thing goes off, before they lose this round. You need to get on it with 7 seconds remaining on that defuse. And the air jab just, denying Neuron of any ability to push. They have to rotate back through, but that hasn't been opened yet. You cannot make your way around that direction. They do get one on the blue. They're going to try and continue off it. They look for a second on it Instill, but they cannot get it. Instill now taken out just the same. It's the Nomad above. Will they get the frag in? Will they do the damage? Yes, they will. There's the headshot. There is map 1. Blue Jays drop it. Carlstad pick up Cafe in a convincing fashion.
My heart on that last round. It was just like, it went so close. They had literally 12 seconds left on the board. Went straight for that plant with both yokai still in play. Yep, just a moment. There we are. I love your little camera. Okay. But yeah, just like so close towards that end. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. That was nerve-wracking and a half.
Yeah, it was nerve-wracking to say the least. That was convincing, though. Even with the technical difficulties, Carlstad did not lose their momentum. And as much as Siege is a first-person shooter, it's also a momentum-based game. So it's going to be a little difficult to have Blue Jays come back in this one, but we are headed to their map pick. It is going to be Bank on the board, so we'll have to see how it goes.
Listen, I have to be completely honest, my knowledge of Bank is not very good. So my waffling is about to expand. But it's okay. I'll get on with it.
Well, apparently the teams have called for a 10-minute break. We had the technical pauses, so we didn't think we needed one, but we're going to send it to a break anyway. When we return, Bank will be on the board. Map 2 will be up next.
operators, other enemy players that he's able to pick off. Nako here is also very aggressive, and he's gonna make sure that he's as Clutcher here is also on 1 HP. I didn't notice that one. So 2 of these players are really low, and Nako, I don't even saw that there was a player behind that one player, and he's gonna get a quad kill here. It's Shippo. What's happening? He's just running around him in circles right now. It looks like he's bulletproof.
And half HP is even more flawless to get torn away, but I love what he turned as he kept some form of information that ends. They know the plan. Sky's now on that Ash, a lovely run-up and catching the kill. Deeper, searching for more. That fire gonna force a blade son of a gun like he didn't have the bullets. He swaps the pistol, still picks up the triple kill. It doesn't matter. The fire tap for the quadra kill. A flawless round.
It might really make a difference here, but Echo is alive. Blue is still with the yokai drone up, and the gas canister is gonna go out, and Echo is gonna deny the plan. If I have to back up, there is no chance. Another canister is gonna deny something. Now when he wants, the gas canister is gonna finish off the sledge. What even happens there? Kappa is gonna push out from the beach. He's gonna get a headshot on top of the canister. He's gonna start prepping as well. Blue is gonna deny it again. There is no way this is happening right now. Blue is doing everything. They should have killed him with a nade, but they weren't able to. The people from below, they won't be able to deny. They are gonna be able to smash and really bring it back home here as he gets the first kill, and he won't be able to connect to the second. Echo is gonna win it out on 1 HP. Blue just did everything for his team that he should have done.
But they're gonna be caught down, and Salva's gonna find one. And the plot's gonna be down. If they get the plot down, it's gonna be the game, but it's gonna be 2. And the plot's gonna be down. It's gonna be it's a rock, it's a happy. Oh my god, it's all coming down in this offside sediment. It's gonna be done. It's gonna be a 1v1 situation. If Sheriff manages to keep this alive, they are winning it. Oh my god! Oh my god, what a clutch! Oh my god! What a clutch bucket! They've been gaming the first win of the whole season for them, and it's all on Chapapi's hands. What a game this was! What a game!
2 on 5 is a quick swing. Nako will put it into a 1 on 5. Nako trying to hit the deck, but he cannot. Not looking too good. Getting that gone onto the Banshee. Another onto Sky. This went from out of the realm of possibility to winnable.
He's gonna just keep face checking here towards Memo. Looks like everything is clear, but he doesn't know that there's a player behind the bomb. He's gonna able to get the headshot, man. A quad kill for Alex right now. He's gonna be looking for the last one. He doesn't have the fuser yet. So what? What an ace! What is that?
It's just best on this mirror window trying to stave them off, but it's
You know how I feel.
And he's gonna take down Poison. He's gonna make it a 4v4 for his team.
You know how I feel.
That maybe not even Valkyrie herself, and she is aware.
It's a new life.
He's not aware that Envy's here, and Envy will pick him up.
And I'm feeling.
Also on 1 HP, I didn't notice that one.
And I'm feeling good. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine.
Hello there, welcome back. It's map 2 on the cards, and Blix, you and I get to cast Bank, and if I'm not mistaken, neither of us have done it before. This ought to be
Not at
fun.
all. Absolutely not. I didn't expect to cast it this early on in the season. I thought it would be like Chalet, banned every other game. But hey, here we are, we're on Bank, and I mean, if there's this confidence to pick it out, I mean, I'm expecting some good plays from the side. I believe it's BLUEJAYS pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, they're looking to bring the strats. If they don't, I'm gonna be upset. I do have to say I was expecting it to cast it. I was expecting to cast it a little earlier in the season. I know a lot of my friends that play comp like to play it, but as soon as I come to Europe and cast a single game, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, let's play Bank."
It works.
I don't know, but hey, it's time to start. We're gonna head into said Bank. Teams are ready. We are as well. Bank is map number 2. Have fun has been dropped in the chat. Control dropping that, and I have to say, I agree. It's map 2. Carlstad up 1 map, and they're starting on the defensive side again. They get to choose the defensive side, so last map, I have to say, I'm surprised BLUEJAYS decided to choose attack, which obviously didn't really go their way.
Okay.
But now that they're on the attack again, do you think they're going to be a little more structured this time around?
I mean, honestly, yeah. I mean, from my experience on Bank, just completely from ranked, Bank is such a good map if you have a 5 stack on both either defense or attack. If you have a 5-man and you know how to communicate with each other, Bank is such a good map. But I suppose with both teams being competitive teams, it could go either way. I have absolutely no expectations from this game. This is a complete new slate for me. Seeing Bank in comp. But here.
So what? What? Hold up, Sledge was just banned? Wait a second. Hold the phone. BLUEJAYS, that's either a target ban or a misclick, and Zarak says it's a misclick. I'm not sure the credibility of that statement, but both SAS attackers are off the board for I'm pretty sure the first time ever. I don't think I've ever seen Sledge banned. Cade's also off, the Moroccan removed, and that one's not too surprising. You want to manage the hatches, you want to manage your electricity, making sure hard breaching is difficult. Bringing a Cade, it makes hard breaching difficult, and, well, these attackers don't want to deal with it. Echo off the board, another target ban, I have to say, but this time it goes from Carlstad onto the BLUEJAYS, and that was their main defender that got kills last time around.
The bans, I mean, other than the Sledge, I can get my head around them. They were utilising the Echo quite a bit on Cafe, so taking it off the board leaves you less to worry about. Although, Mira, again, would be quite a good ban for Bank, in my opinion, at least. The Kaid is completely understandable. I wouldn't swap that out for anybody. I mean, there's so many things to electrify, so many hatches to get. It's just so much more reliable than having to worry about bandits. Or mute jammers, even.
Yeah, the Mira, I have to say, not a surprising pick now that they're not banned. One thing that does surprise me is that it wasn't, but the Valkyrie being back on the board and me observing Bank, this ought to be good. I gotta say, just take it all in. Go ahead and smell the roses. Some notable changes. You can see server looks a lot wider than it used to be. That's because it is. Server is much wider than it was. Everything else on the bottom floor is about the same way it used to be. Nothing really changing. You can see this has changed a little bit, and there's actually an entrance, or what looks like an entrance right there, but it isn't. It's a barricaded door, but kind of looks like it. I don't really know. The elevator, however, no longer droppable. There's no hatch right here other than that one, and, well, that's dealt with.
Although they have, there's one thing I like about this new change of Bank is there's no annoying railings everywhere now.
True.
Do you know how many times I mag dumped into the railings? They are now gone. And I love it.
Probably my least favorite thing about this map was that we will see what? Let's see. We're going to count the reinforcements onto hatches. There's 1, there is 2, there's 3. You can see the 4th in the elevator, and yeah, the 5th over here in the main lobby. So 5 of the 10 reinforcements available for the defenders were put towards those hatches. Unsurprisingly so, because MPX is starting to establish itself on the top floor.
I really have no idea what the default attack is for this map. I'm completely going up and just watching it as I go along. But it does seem they are having a bit of a roam presence here to deny the attackers just from being able to go straight from top down. You know, putting a bit of pressure on the attack side. Makes complete sense.
Neuron surprisingly given a lot of room here, along with Spliz. So I'm surprised they were given as much room as they have been in open area, but you can see nobody else is on the top floor. They have been given this middle floor, other than, well, Askell over here in the elevator. And I want to see how Askell can use their black eyes to lock things down. And with the Hibana on the board, they're going to open up those hatches. The Thermite and Hibana surprisingly making the combined appearance, but we'll have to see how it goes for them.
I mean, as you were saying about the 5 hatches, bringing the double hard feature is kind of the play here. In order to get these hatches open and establish that second floor control, you need those hatches done. It just, even if you aren't directly playing on the hatches, it kind of makes the defenders a bit more wary of above, and it gives them a bit more to worry about, pushing them out of position just that slightest bit, and also gives the attackers a bit more freeway to work with, I suppose.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. We will see Ethan take a little bit of damage, but that's over towards the open area hatches. Unsurprising, as I believe they actually decided to make a little bit of a push up main, and that's exactly what happened. But, well, it didn't really go their way. They have backed out towards the bottom of it. And all 5 players now on the middle floor, other than now Spliz and BLUEJAYS, or Spliz and Neuron, sorry, who are in server and are opening things up early on in the round.
42 seconds left on the floor. They have managed to get open, I believe it's service walls, and all hatches, I believe, are in control of the attackers as well. Just have to go now to try and get control of the actual site itself. But the mirror is taken out from behind her window. The plant is going down as well in a 5v3 situation.
Attackers are activating.
Oh no, Askell gets the kill there. The C4 is going to go in, but it won't hit anything. Everybody's vacating the site. Control taking out Askell. It's now someone left alone. 1 versus 4. And this is impossible. They're taken out. The BLUEJAYS pick up a round, only their second so far in this best of 3. And, well, their map pick seems like the place to do it.
That was a very nice little wait. Even though they had the hatch open above the mirror and they could have taken her out a lot earlier on, they waited so that none of the defenders could, like, you know, reposition behind her window. The second they got the mirror was taken out, they went straight down for that plant, which was the perfect play in that sort of situation. Okay, BLUEJAYS definitely looking a lot stronger on their own pick map, and that is what we like to see. Just redeeming themselves that slightest bit from on the cafe.
The Vigil being 6th picked here onto who? That's the question. Will they just 6th pick from the Vigil onto the Vigil? Yes.
Yep.
Yes, they will. Very effective. Gotta love it. We will also see the 6th pick from the Ash onto that Jackal. And that one, I have to say, is a little surprising. Jackal, of course, being a very good fragging operator, but there wasn't as much of a roam in the previous round as you'd usually expect. And I guess that's really to counter the Vigil. Once they saw that roaming op, they were like, yeah, let's go for toads. And that's exactly what they did. They decided to do.
I mean, looking at their other defender side right now, seeing the Vigil and the Mozzie, I get it. I get why you want to bring the Jackal. We'll save the time because obviously Mozzie and Vigil will be a bit more difficult to kind of drone out if they use their pests and their abilities correctly. So it does save them a little bit of time. We'll be able to clear it out a lot quicker, which they seem to actually do quite well at first round. Even though they only had 30 seconds left towards the end to get that plant down, it was definitely a lot quicker than their previous map.
Locate and defuse the bomb.
This is an interesting decision. They have completely switched up their decisions on holding this middle floor. They are putting 3 reinforcements here on this wall over towards tellers. They put 1 on the open hatch, but not in this closed out hatch in the closet, deciding to just leave that, well, open. Interesting decision. Understatement of the year.
That is interesting one. Yeah, I don't think I've actually seen that or expected that rather. But hey, if it works for them, it works for them.
Spliz making their way in. G8 in hand. Holographic just barely misses as well. That's gotta kill you. Well, unironically kill you. But is that the Mozzie just hanging out on the top floor? Yes, they are holding the hatch above them with players within 5 meters of them. Control will get the opening pick. That's the Type 89 to get the frag. And I believe the Mozzie's been droned out. They've been dealt with as— oh my goodness, he wins the fight! What? No way he wins that fight. The P10 just dominated. That's insane. You had no business winning that fight. Spliz, how are you dead? I am questioning my sanity now.
Imagine pre-firing with a G8. And then, oh my gosh.
And still losing the fight. Yeah,
that was an
that's
insane shot from Mozzie. I don't even know. That flick.
Shaq feels bad, man. That's all I have to say about
I
that
have to
one.
recover from that one before I can continue casting.
That's nuts. All right, well, the entirety of the Blue Jays have been shut down. I think they're just going to wait, and justifiably so. They need to bide their time and, well, get a nice kill. As there goes and still Hunter with a very well-placed nade down and through, takes out that Mira, and that C4's off the board. Now it's someone, the only one with plant denial, of course, assuming those evil eyes don't get as much as you'd think they would. But it's going to be a split push here. The dual-pronged attack will come through. You can see Hunter all the way over here towards main stairs, while the other two are just hanging out in towards servers. Neron opening up these two walls yet again, giving their team a massive advantage. But I don't think it's going to be as much of one as they'd like. The reverse plant will come through in the default position. The C4's already been used, so it will not get any more effect, and the C7 gets the frag as well. They're going to look to use that evil eye, but not as much as you'd think. They're going to get that plant down. It will be placed as well. Now into the 2 versus now 1 versus 4. Oh no, the ALDA left alone against 3 players. They don't even expect Hunter in the close range. The ARX sweeps them out and under. It's Blue Jays to pick up 2.
Okay, as I was saying that last one, I'm gonna say it again. They are proving their worth from that previous map, showing what Blue Jays are made of. Their gun skill is what, this is what I was mentioning previously. It's like I've seen them play, and I've seen them as very, very good fraggers as individual players. I suppose on Cafe against very strategic teams, it doesn't really pay off. But on Bank, where people are still trying to set their ground, still trying to figure out what works for them, they can just run rings around the defenders and just take out. Just win via a complete gun skill. That seems to be the play right now. It's just running around, and I don't even blame him one little bit.
Yeah, no complaints here. I love to see some quick gun skill, and honestly, I'm surprised we did not see the defenders win that one. I'm surprised Carlstad dropped that. I have to be honest with you, especially after that, well, domination of a pick from the Mozzie, but hey, it doesn't go their way, and sometimes you just have to realize what's not working. They went to the bottom floor twice, and obviously wasn't working, so they're gonna go upstairs and, well, head to the top floor.
What has changed? I swear something's changed in this top floor, or am I completely making it up?
Let's see. Elevators are the same. You can still get into, actually no, you can't get into this one anymore, but you can now get into this one. It's no longer vertical, so you can see that elevator is still like off the ground, but you can't get in there. This is the same, that's the same, this room's the same, nothing changing in square, the balcony being the same, stock hasn't changed. No, looks like the top floor is the exact same other than the elevators, and it seems like this has been extended a little bit, but other than that, not much.
Okay, so it's gonna be, I'm sure they're familiar with this map enough to know how to do the top floor. Myself, not so much. But I am just a caster.
Yeah, we don't have to have brain cells. We only have to tell you what you're doing wrong with no brain cells. That's how it works.
Exactly.
Interesting decision here. Zarok playing with the C7, that has the option to use a 2.0. They decide to just use a holographic. Interesting decision to say the least, but hey, a welcome one nonetheless. It makes controlling your recoil a little bit easier, and well, that's exactly why you don't really see any submachine gun pistols with those high reticle or high distance reticles. Blue with a Mossberg in close range. They're gonna look through the hatch as well, and no, they catch off Spliz. Unfortunate timing for Spliz. The IQ off the board yet again to a high fire rate weapon. And the Mossberg peek will come through. Do they peek into the thermite? No, they don't. They could have just peeked around and gotten a free kill, but that thermite will stay on the board. They will actually get another exothermic charge on that wall, but no, they are just looking to bide their time.
I mean, 5v4 situation, 1 minute 35 seconds left on the clock. Spliz unfortunately get taken out quite early on yet again.
Oh, Ethan. Oh no. Ethan's gonna try and flank this. He's seen the gun barrel, but no! They drone him out! No, Ethan! Just push at some point and you get a free couple kills, but they have discovered the German flank and, well, they will oust it just the same. That's gotta feel bad for him.
Oh, he had such an opportunity there. If they hadn't decided, you know what, maybe we should actually drone this.
seemed like a good idea, and I guess it went their way, at least for the time being, and still takes out Xerac, but Neron turning it right back has brought things towards the even point, but Blue turns it even further from it. The Mossberg, from close range, takes out that Thermite that ever so slipped through their fingers earlier on in the round. Now into the 2 versus 3. The peek across will come in from Hunter. They seem like they've seen the head. Indeed, they have. Ask will be dropped, and now it's back into the 2 versus 2. This Type 89's been deadly so far. Control has gotten already 4 kills through our 2.5 now rounds of play, but they have to continue with it. The reinforcement right behind this roaming player will keep them alive. Blue, you can flank if you want, but they're just going to throw it to C4. Will it land? No, it doesn't do enough damage. The shotgun shots come through, but they don't land. The shots are coming down onto Blue, and Control takes it out. Somehow, Blue doesn't win that round. A simple flank would have won it for him, but it's the attackers. It's Blue Jays now up on 3. They're pulling a reverse Unar card out. Carlstad having done onto them what they did before.
They are absolutely dominating. I'm not sure how that C4 didn't land. I'm going to say that now. That should have done at least some damage, if nothing. But that was just unfortunate. But it's just so good to watch because Blue Jays are finally redeeming themselves. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. They're running in, getting the kills. They're actually utilizing their drones and stuff quickly this time. Like, not just spending the whole 2 minutes trying to figure out where everyone is. They get a slight intel and they're just going for it. And it's working for them. I absolutely love this play. That it's just yes.
I have to say, I'm surprised that Carlstad are sending themselves back to the exact same site they just lost. The last time they did it, it didn't work for them. They lost that same site yet again. The bottom floor so far has yet to go their way. Top floor just the same. I would head over towards open area or even into tellers. Anything but the 2 default sites.
I mean, they're 2 default for a reason. Everyone has to play them. So I guess that's probably why they're going to stick with them. If they're not winning the default sites, winning the off sites are going to be a bit more difficult for them. But
look at the plant denial. So it says there are 5 C4s on the board for Carlstad. That's not true. There are 4. The UI, again, is lying to you. However, there's still 4 C4s on the side of Carlstad. Like, how do you allow yourselves to bring 4 C4s? What's the other utility they're vacating for this?
I mean, they didn't manage to deny the plant last time. Maybe 4 C4s is the play for them. I don't see any sort of like Valkyrie or like Pulse or any sort of intel other than the Mozzie, and I suppose the sound of the Banshees as well. So it's not as if they can just play below and just rely on the verticals to deny plants either. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I'll say that much.
Hunter is sitting right next to this Jaeger. Ethan just hanging out behind the tellers. Do they get droned out? It does not look to be the case. That drone going wide. Hunter still playing on the other side of this room. Ever so close to death. Ethan now making a little bit of noise. Have they been heard? No. The answer is no. Hunter looking that direction, but they back out. Ethan has gone undroned, has gone unseen. That hatch break that Zarok can see above them should be given away, but still, no play onto Ethan. They allow the room to continue, and Spliz does not seem like they've seen this Jaeger as they're still crouched behind this wall, yet to be dealt with, as Square looks to be pushed, but Blue in this close corner
The one tap!
looks to get killed, and oh, Xerac gets the 1 tap, but Ethan turns it right back. They have no care in the world for that Jackal. The roam clear is off the board, and now it's made their lives ever so that much more difficult, as that shotgun is now gone.
Is the Jaeger still in the room?
Well, hold up. Where did Instill just die? What? Hold up. How did What?
That is a.
He just died from the main window. That is the only main window open, by the way. That is the only one you can utilize, and he still did it perfectly. That's absurd.
Oh, if anyone's gonna do it, it'll be in this game, that's for sure. My apologies.
2 seconds. Oh, Blue. Oh, you can't do it to him again. Neron taken out. Now by that smoke for the 2nd round in a row, and the smoke has been found but stays alive. They make their way out, and they drop the hatch as well. They vacated this stock room and made their way out. Blue Jays making their push now very one-dimensional. There's now only 20 seconds remaining in this round. now in the worst spot they've been in all day, especially with 2 C4 still on this defensive side. Blue is below. They're going to look to throw this C4 up. You can see if they plant in this corner again, it'll not go their way. Ethan does get one. The C4 is being planted. Asko peeks around, but doesn't get the kill. They have gotten the plant through. The C4 from below. No, Blue misses. Oh no, the diffuser's been dropped. Ethan takes out control and finally wins Carlstad the round. It is 1 on the board for the defenders, and they finally pick something up.
Oh my gosh, Ethan, who has been MIA that entire round, comes up and gets the winning kill to finish it off. Oh my gosh. That... Ethan with the clutch, I'm just saying.
That's absurd. Ethan with the Jaeger from downtown. They were the only one without utility to deny the plant. Yet they were the one to deny the plant. How ironic is that one?
Imagine if they actually joined him out at the start of that round. That would have been a free win for Blue Jays.
Yep.
Attackers need to locate and
Well,
defuse
the more you know. The more utility you use, the more likely you are to win the round. Back. Wow, they don't even go to the bottom floor. Carlstad taking my advice. They're headed to Tellers. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
Actually decided to switch up a site. Now they have one of the main 2. I get why they didn't go down to the bottom floor. I completely get why they didn't go to the bottom floor. It didn't really go well for them either time, losing quite significantly.
10 seconds remaining.
The pulse play is quite interesting. I mean, I'd imagine it's going to be more of a top to bottom pulse play, since if I'm not mistaken, I don't think the floor is destructible at that.
I think on this side it is. If I'm not mistaken, I believe here around this area it is, but over on the tile it is not.
This shows
Yeah.
how much knowledge we have this map.
I mean, not a lot of people have that much knowledge of this map. That's why it's banned so much, because all the angles that you find are not really ousted yet. Nobody has been playing custom games for 35 minutes to find every single peek hole, other than apparently Control, who is back on the windows and gets yet another kill. Someone is removed, that C4's off the board, and Carlstad did bring 4 C4s to the board yet again, but 1 is already gone, and it's only been 30 seconds.
This time they actually have got the pulse to run off with the C4s, so I kind of can understand using a mass amount. Maybe not 4, 2 or 3 would do the job. But at least this time they have the intel to actually deny the plant as opposed to just throwing it and hoping for the best.
I feel like the more C4s you have, the better. The more explosives, the more fun, right? I feel like that's an analogy that seems
I
to
mean,
go
yeah,
that
that's
way.
for sure, but I suppose the defenders in play right now, the stacking option isn't much better than the C4, so why not bring it?
A bomb has been located.
Wow, that's a close angle to hold. And I have to say I'm surprised with how much of a vertical hold this is becoming. You can see the pulse is playing below, just playing the information game, but it's not going their way. Blue has dropped that Mira. Sorry, the mute is off the board. And so is Ethan. So is Instill.
Oh my
Blue
gosh.
Jays looking to sweep this round clean, and
Attackers
it's
have located
only Asko left alone. They've only done damage. Spliz gets the kill. It's a flawless attacking round for the Blue Jays. They have wiped out this defense and, well, wiped out that tertiary site. Carlstad, nowhere to go.
I mean, Blue Jays have their confidence through now. I mean, after winning those first couple rounds, maybe they got their motivation back that they might have lost that previous map. And they're just running, like, I've said it at the end of every round, but they're just running through them right now. Not really entirely sure why Mira was so far off site. That wasn't a really the kind of defender you typically see miles away from the room, but I mean, supposedly in 1v5, it's not bad, but a flawless round actually for Blue Jays. I don't know what to say. I am gobsmacked. Completely going against the community vote here.
I'm
Attackers need to locate
gobsmacked.
and defuse as many bombs as they can.
Are you judging me?
Yes, 100%. Yes. I am. Yes.
Okay, I see.
It's not very often I get to cast with those from across the pond, so I take full advantage of it any chance I get. I don't know why Carlstad are keeping a similar play to what they did in round number 1. They're opening, or actually closing all the hatches off. You can see 1 there, 2, 3. The 4th one, surprisingly not reinforced here. That could be deadly later in the round, but, you know, you can see that one's going off there. I feel like someone's going to make their way back to this side and reinforce it. Keep an eye on them. And 3, 2, 1, go press F on that hatch. Thank you very much, my friend. So, yeah, there you go.
It's an Alice shotgun.
Oh my goodness, that's an F12. Okay, interesting decision there, my friends.
I love it. I love it.
I'm not even gonna judge it.
I mean, I like it, to be honest with you. I mean, the concussions obviously provide the sounds of information as to where they're pushing from, and also kind of slow down, disorientate the attackers. With the shotgun as well in play, with the speed that BLUEJAYS have been pushing into sight at, if you disorientate them enough and the L is still alive, just spam that shotgun down that doorway will hopefully deny the person with that defuse. Because it seems to me that's what they're doing, just running in with the defuse. Or at least, not running in, they're strategically walking towards the side with the defuse, I'll say.
So Blue is playing in blue, and I guess no more fitting of a name, but, well, look at this. Long range with an FO12, that's not usually going to go your way. They will wait for the push to come through, but do they decide to just hold W onto this Ella? The flashbang will come through, but it will get taken out by an ADS. The Gemini will come through as well, dumping utility, and yeah. Somehow Blue is not flashbang, but that nade will come through. The C4 comes in, but no, it gets blown up. That was actually a smoke grenade. I thought it was a C4, but no, in goes that drone. They will find out where this Ella is, but they're prepping a nade. No, back up! Somehow he's still alive. He reaggresses and gets taken out. The ARX just does more damage. Blue is removed, and Carlstad a man down.
I mean, how much time did that guy just waste just sitting at the top of the stairs? I suppose it did also waste how many flashbangs, 2 nades. That, if I'm being honest with you, was actually a decent hold. Despite being the first one off the board and kind of losing that man advantage right now. And as I was saying that, never mind, it is now a 5v3 situation in favour of BLUEJAYS. Maybe losing a player that early on isn't as beneficial as using utility, but hey. Jinx things here.
3 versus 5 here for the defenders. They do still have a single C4 on the board, so the plant denial is available if they want to use it. Neuron will fake the plant, at least for the time being, and try to bait out the C4. We'll see if it does come in. They have not yet planted that diffuser, and I feel like they're playing information game here on this defensive side. Diffuser starts to get planted. In goes the C4. No one gets shot out of the air. Somebody's been playing aim lab. Good night C4, and well, good night chances of this defense. Carlstad, oh no. They've actually turned it right back. It's into the 3 versus 2. It's now possible for these defenders, but Instill has to take some ground. They have to win a gunfight. And from 3 now different angles, they cannot do so. Spliz cleans up the half. A single round loss for the BLUEJAYS. And now heading on to the defense of their own map pick. I feel like Carlstad are off the board. We may be heading to Clubhouse.
I think we will. And at this rate, I have no idea what to expect from Clubhouse. Like, with Carlstad being so methodical and so strategic, and BLUEJAYS being so pew-pew gun skill, I don't even know what to expect from Clubhouse.
Did you just say pew-pew gun skill out?
I did say pew-pew gun skill.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Professional caster, me.
Outstanding vocabulary used.
What else would I
Gotta
say?
say.
They are pew-pewing at the moment.
They're doing so effectively. That's the important part.
Exactly.
That's what justifies you calling it pew-pew gun skill.
Exactly.
Locate and defuse bombs.
Okay, with the round paths now switched over, with BLUEJAYS being on the defensive side, and they are very, very quick into this setup. They know what they seem to know what they're doing. That's for sure. They just completely went straight forward. I think that impact got thrown the second he spawned in. So they know what they're going for. They know what to reinforce. They have prepared. Maybe a bit more so than Carlstad had. Okay, we got this.
Thunderbird back on the board. We're seeing all the new things brought out by the BLUEJAYS. I love it.
They seem to be a bit more prepared for bank than they were for Cal. Which is strange, but yeah.
And still playing on this angle, and they're gonna look to play across as well. I have a sneaking feeling that now that the attack is being set up by Carlstad, they're going to just not have a chance in any round. Worse chances that they had on this defense, and heading to the third site in what usually is your rotation are the Blue Jays heading to Tellers and Archives. That's questionable decision, but I feel like it's going to throw the heck off of Carlstad.
I mean, it is quite a big brain play, to be completely honest. If they are comfortable with the offsite being played first, as long as they manage to get the win onto it, they don't have to worry about it again for the next 2 rounds, because then they have the default sort of sites, which I'd imagine if they're so strong on Tellers, they're going to be quite strong on them as well. So it takes it off the board, throws the attackers off, and also allows them to be more comfortable on the next 2 sites. It would just put them up a little bit higher, even potentially even winning the game from that. And there goes the first kill, actually, from the side of Carlstad, taking the... Ooh, 2 kills actually coming out, taking both Zarek and Critical off the board. It is now a 5v3 situation in favour of Carlstad.
Oh no. Oh. They've turned it even further in their favor. Someone gets the frag over onto Hunter, and it's a 5 versus 2. Is Bank just convincingly attacker-sided? Did I miss a giant memo that went out to the R6 player base?
I must have missed the chapter as well, since as far as I was aware, I thought it was pretty even either side, but right now it is proving to be very, very on the attacker side.
Look at this setup here. They have the rotate established early on, and oh no, Spill is getting 1. They have down the second. Is the information there? It seems like it is. The push is coming through. They're going to spray the wall and get the frag in. It's now into the 3 versus 2. And now just establishing themselves on the site with Neuron on the close range. No, they haven't heard this Kona station go off. The Jackal's down. It's now into the 2 versus 2 as continuing their push are this Carlstad King's side. But the Blue Jays locking things down in the defense.
Oh my gosh, this is like so winnable for them here. I mean, when it went to 2v5, I was a bit like, maybe not, but now 2v2, it's such close quarters. They know where each other are. It is a complete matter of who's going to get this first shot down.
Or
risky going for the plant in that smoke. I'll be completely honest, but 2v1 situation, Blue Jays with just a Bandit left in play. Oh, come on, Bandit. You got a C4 still. You've got it.
Oh no, he loses it. Ethan from a distance gets the frag. And honestly, I don't know why he peeked like that. He had the information that somebody was in his close left, and you have to assume that's the diffuser. If it just tries to go down the far side and just doesn't, it makes the rotation. Thermite stays alive, and the 2 supports making the clutch play in the end. Carlstad, they win their second round and start to make at least attempt to mount a comeback.
Tachanka?
Actually, Tachanka's like a relatively normal pick nowadays.
I know he is, but I still can't help but see Tachanka and think it's Tachanka. Yeah, Tachanka is the Lord himself. With or without a turret, I see him. And even despite the fact that he literally is just another version of Smoke at this point, I still, like, I can't help myself.
Blue Jays on the defensive side, yet again, and they're heading, what? Question mark? What is going on?
Maybe they like their talent strat. Maybe they want the world to see. I guess I kind of nearly wrote for them towards the end. I suppose it was down to the 2 players that kind of clutched it up. They almost got it through. I think if they're a bit more careful, they can actually run it around this time. Because I suppose they actually know what to expect from Carlstad now, as opposed since they have just been walking through the entire of their defenses. Kind of expecting now on Bank what kind of play they're going to go for. Maybe they'll be able to construct themselves a little bit around it.
The top floor hold this time around, it was wiped clean in our previous round, and I mean, that's usually what you'd expect, the top down clear from Carlstad, but I wouldn't expect it to be that effective this time out.
I mean, I don't even know what to think. It is possible for them to come through and come back here. But with Tellers being the site as well, it is looking quite nice for Carlstad, I want to say. But also the Blue Jays have been performing very, very well on bank. So, not much I can comment on.
They're playing their utility perfectly, and unsurprisingly looking to take out that utility. I mean, you don't want to have a drone figuring out your position, but it's just not as convincing of a widespread hold as I'd like to see. This stock room is not that important. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not that big of a deal to deal with, but still deciding to invest a lot of utility into it. You can see the mirror and the reinforcement on that wall, 2 reinforcements over towards the main side of things. Interesting decisions, to say the least.
There's a shocking amount being used on that top floor, actually. Considering the fact that, oh there goes the Ying taking out the mirror, and that is a C4 off the board, and the top player off as well. I mean, they actually, at least they have something now to watch on those Valkyrie cameras, providing a bit more intel for the side of defense. Nice.
Control, for some reason, has decided to chill in open area with a mirror window all the way across. But the mirror window is looking at them, which is a little bit ironic, but nonetheless, I suggest it could go their way. I don't like their chances, though. No. Oh, this is bad.
Storewoods. Oh no. And the plant's already going down with 35 seconds left on the clock. A 5v3 situation with 44 seconds for the defenders to try and pull this through. 2 players left on the clock, and Ying on a significant amount of low health, and Ayana taking off as well. 2v4 situation. But again, plant is down. Carlstad definitely have the advantage in this situation. Man advantage as well as height.
Yeah, another major change about Bank was the opening of this main side. You can see that extra door. Blue is playing it to perfection. Zarek's trying to look across, but just not getting the peek in, not getting the information. And even the peek up won't net them a frag. The 1 versus 4 will not go their way. They will not even be able to get on the diffuser. Carlstad pick up yet another attacking round here. And with time being off the clock, just questionable here. As, yeah, Zarek can only pick up 2 kills. The bomb disarmed Carlstad with, well, now a 3rd round on the board. They brought it within 2. They could win things here.
Again, just kind of boosting up that KD. It did look, Howard, it wasn't really that convincing, but I mean, it did show he could have possibly pulled it back if he had stepped. If he played like that 5 seconds previously, maybe. But it happens.
Yeah, they're calling a quick pause. Sorry about that. I speak American, where we say pause when we want to pause. Apologies for that. But I have to question what has gone wrong for the Blue Jays. Why are they rehosting? What? Observer fault, tactical timeout. What? We're gonna send it to a quick break and figure out what the heck just happened. When we come back, we'll have Bank again. Stick with us.
It's You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me.
Hello, everybody. Apologies for the brief delay, and apparently Carlstad Kings still have the little box next to their name, even though, yeah, nice job, I suppose. Ubisoft just doesn't like me. I swear I rewrote it entirely, but it doesn't like it. Wrong side. I need.
The host.
But hold up, they're on the right sides. No, they're not. Okay, yeah, we're going back to a technical pause. We'll be right back.
You flick the switch, you know me so well. You turn me on and nobody else. I'm a project for you to complete. You're so perfect and now I need you. Need me. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me.
Welcome back. Attempt number 75,324 is on the board. Apologies for, again, well, I think that's what, Blix, is that a technical difficulty number 9? What are we at now?
I've lost count, but 4 potentially, but
Yeah.
it's been a lot. It feels like a lot more, but it's fine. We move. We're round 9, 3-5 in favor of Blue Jays, and yeah, hopefully that pause was worth it.
Yeah, they got about a 12-minute technical timeout, or a TT as apparently it's called now. That's a new vocabulary term I've gotten from gaming. Was unaware of that, but hey, thanks for the info, I guess. European Rainbow Six Siege never fails to disappoint.
Being defused by
Yeah,
attackers.
welcome to EU.
I got a question. Why are they going to the bottom floor now? We've seen their top floor holds struggle at every single point. They had their, well, stock struggle last round and the previous round before that. And, well, the middle floor was just wiped clean. I feel like it just needs to be an entirely top floor sided hold from the Blue Jays. And if they did that in the first round, they would have gone their way. But now that they're so late and they're bringing Zarek as this cav,
5 seconds left
I think they're in
before
desperation territory.
Attackers are moving
Yeah,
out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
The Chanka, the Castle, the Cav, the Pulse, Ella, that entire lineup to me just screams, just do things. It doesn't really look very hand in hand. We have the Pulse in play, which I suppose could provide intel for the Cav or maybe Chanka potentially, but only one C4 in hand, so that they can just rely off of that from the Pulse. The Castle barricades, I'm gonna feel like it's gonna be a bit more of an issue for themselves than it is gonna be for the attackers. I just don't. They haven't got a mirror on the bottom floor, so for the castle to be beneficial for. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, well, it is Bank, so nobody's really sure what's going on. I don't even
Yeah,
know if the
that's
players
true.
are 100% aware. Zarek giving away their position, firing those M12 shots back. And by the way, Zarek was firing from here through this wall onto a dead wall, by the way. Just wanted to point that out. They were shooting at absolutely nothing other than brick walls. So I don't really know why they were returning fire, but hey, they were doing so anyway. Control is playing down here, and I gotta wonder what they're trying to do on this castle. We will see them attempt to establish things, but the Pulse is playing all the way down here in the vault, and that's an understandable lockdown. But if Control's well droned, they look to be taken out. Askell, look to your right. Oh no, I don't think he's aware. Oh, this could go poorly. But no, it is a castle barricade, so that makes a little more sense as to how the heck he's still alive. But still, you need to do your droning.
1 minute 15 left on the clock, and still not much being done from the side of the attackers. Habanda's on significantly low health right now. It's going to be quite difficult for her to get inside the building and still manage to get the hatches open in order to make some sort of drop off into sight. I suppose they still have got the thermite in play, but they might want to utilise those extra thermics on maybe service or server as well.
Information's being given over. You can see Neuron is tracking Askell. The Jackal's being found from below. They're going to throw another Gerschmaltz mine on said door. And again, the information's just being given over. In comes the push. They're stunned. Do they get the shots? No, they don't. Splizz gets the frag, and Control continues with it. The super shorty from close range on this middle floor, still dealing with things. And this is difficult, and still not even looking behind them where that Ella is. The shotgun will not get another kill for the castle, but it's Blue left alone. The thermite all on their own. Zarek from behind. That Cav. Wow, look at that angle. And, well, wow, look at the round. They turn it back, and, well, this defending Blue Jay squad pick up round number 9.
I was a bit iffy about the picks they had going on there, like with the Cav, the Pulse, but it seemed to work very well in their favour. I mean, the castle barricade meant that they couldn't push through as easily, allowing the Pulse to just rely on that one area, just waiting for the pings to come through, feed that through then to the Cav and the Ella, so they kind of knew where to be pre-aiming and where to be looking for. I mean, it was a very well played Pulse, but it's still a very interesting setup in whole.
A lion being sixth picked onto. What is going on here? Are Carlstad going to look to rush? And if so, why is a Cav selected? And why are they going to open area and not exec? What? I don't even. I'm not even gonna
Waffle
continue the
T4.
question.
How's EU going for you then? This is gonna be. I mean, Blue Jays only have to pull in one more round, and it will be a win for them, leading us on to the third map, which will be Clubhouse, which hopefully will be a bit easier for myself and time to cast, since I kind of know what to go off of. But right now, it's going to be a continuation of Waffle until the end of the game.
Absolutely waffling, mate.
That's what I'm good at.
That's what they're doing.
I'm a sick waffler.
You know it. And still going to the top floor, ARX in hand. They're just going to try and look through with the square skylight. But no, actually, they're just going to drone into a teammate. Ironically, it's the Iana droning for the Zofia. The Iana usually the entry fragger, or you can just throw a Gemini in and entry kinda yourself with a bodily replica. But it's going to be more of a top floor hold. And again, playing vertically are the Blue Jays for a middle forward site. And this time, it seems to be working a little bit in their favor. As hold up, where is that? What? No way. Oh my goodness, he just got a spray. Zarek from all the way over here just got the spray in towards square. Someone was dropped straight through a wall. That feels bad.
Oh my gosh. Unlucky for someone. I feel weird saying someone.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
literally
That
who
still
play.
throws me off. Askell looking to do onto someone or on towards that Cav what was done onto their teammate, but Control getting that kill and this Cav in the close range position, they're going to be scanned, but they can use that silent step. It's actually the Malusi. As the Cav has made their way around, Malusi peeking straight into it, they lose the fight. Jackal wins it out. It's into the 4 versus 3, so possibility still for this Carlstad squad, but they are walking into a lot of plant utility as you still see the Thunderbird and the Mute both with C4s. One of those being expelled, and it's on towards Blue, who's dropped. That diffuser's gone, as is the exothermic charge ability. Down goes Zarek as well. That Cav is finally taken care of, but it has to be a horizontal push now. They have to push onto this first floor if they want to do anything.
3v2 situation. Both of the defenders who have been actually overstimmed by the Thunderbird. 44 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of utility as well on the attackers. But not much control made into the site itself. So it does get taken down by, but minus even able to get the kill onto the the Thunderbird? Yeah, Thunderbird.
Oh, that C4 just barely misses. The SMG-11 misses as well. Askell will be picked up. They are back onto that 20 HP mark. Hunter is over 100 health now. They are being continually healed by the Kona stations around them. This EE1D goes in, but no, it's Hunter getting the kill across onto Askell. Instill, however, will turn it right back. The long-range play with the ARX will turn the round in their favor. It will be Carlstad to pick up a 4th round, again within 2, but the best for Bank they can hope for is overtime.
I mean, it's 4-6 right now. They are pulling themselves through, although we did see Blue Jays just go open area with the Cav. So, I'm not entirely sure if Blue Jays just trying to, like, boost their egos a little bit, or what, but, I mean, they are going to go exec now, which is much more of a playable site, I suppose, as opposed to open area, especially for this early on in the season when kind of nobody knows what's going on. With the Mira in play, which could be quite beneficial for them. The Thunderbird and the Kona stations being very, very helpful for the side of the defense. The Alibi, interesting, but I suppose you're going to go for a very aggressive sort of play style. Alibi's quite handy since you plan to go for the run out, you obviously don't know who it is or when. Which player it is, and also the ping that comes through from the Alibi clones themselves can be a little bit helpful for the defenders, but most of the time, with good teams at least, you're not going to be pre-firing down an Alibi. It's not going to happen. I've said that now, someone's going to do it.
Spliz will look through, and with this Thunderbird, you have so much utility. You have a spear, which is arguably one of the best guns in the game. Very effective, high fire rate, high damage per second. You also have that C4. Now that has late round. Plant denial, that is always effective. And of course, the Bearing 9, also available. Just, the combination is deadly.
This is, Ayana? Ayana's just vibing, playing some Angry Birds. It's cool. It's fun.
Ethan looking across. Oh no, Ethan misses! Oh no! The V3 does not hit the shot. They're gonna try and continue to spray, but Hunter gets a kill. They're not even done any damage onto them, at least not enough to kill him, and they continue with it as well. Blue Jays, no. Oh, this is horrid. Carlstad just continuing with it. This is bad.
Full like positional awareness of where that Mozzie was, missing the shot and losing 2 players because of it. So unlucky from Lion. That was just unfortunately caught on stream. Sorry. Poor Ethan. Oh my god.
C4 ripped. Nobody's there. What are they throwing a C4 into? You have the information played. Askell is going to get a frag back, and another C4 is ripped. So 2 of the 3 C4s, or actually 2 of the 4 technically, have already been ripped. But now there's only 1 remaining, and that's on control. They have a shot at using it later in the round, but it has to be utilized correctly. Someone will be playing below, and they're looking to wide flank this. You can see all 3 players over towards the west side of the building. Split is in a good spot, but they have to clear out this Thunderbird if they want to push any further than the top spiral.
Positioning's alright. They still have a minute left on board. It is a 3v4 situation in favor of Blue Jays, but it's still very winnable from either side here. Like, they have time, they have the players, and they have the utility even still. I suppose actually the 2 C4s off, as you were saying, it's going to be a bit more difficult for the side of the defenders, but they still have the one on the mirror to utilize late round if it comes to it.
Now down to 40 seconds. They're looking to continue with their pushes, but Spliz is going to lock things down here at the top. The spiral on towards front desk, and they're actually going to get the kill. They're going to look to continue as well, but no, Blue hits the shot, uses that 5.56 to the best of their ability. They do have to drop a smoke to keep themselves alive as that alibi clone has found them out. And no, the shots across, they don't land. Is that player on the other side of that reinforced wall? No, they're not. They just miss onto that alibi, barely staying alive. Now down to 15 seconds. In comes the push. Askell looking to make their way in. They do repel in, but they do get taken care of. Blue Jays, they win map 2. They send us to Clubhouse, and they do so in a convincing fashion.
Okay. Well, I mean, we will now go over to Clubhouse, which will be map number 3 and the final map of this semi-finals. And my Wi-Fi still hasn't fixed itself. It's okay. I mean, what to expect from Clubhouse here on out? What are we going for here?
Oh my! It's gonna be a frag fest. That's what it's gonna be. I cannot see anything otherwise. But unfortunately, that's going to be for a little bit of a later time. When we come back, we will have Clubhouse on the board. Don't go anywhere.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
You could turn me on and turn me off with your gaze. You could make me feel oh so much with your ways. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's magnetic the way you pull me. The way you pull me.
Map 3 is on the cards. Carlstad defend first. Blue Jays on the historically advantageous defending side. And Bliss, I gotta be honest here. They're in such a good spot defending on the final map to start things off.
I mean, to be honest with you, the way the Blue Jays have been playing has been very, very strong on the attacks. So, I mean, I guess they have their, obviously it is Clubhouse, you're starting off on defense, you're at least going to get 3 rounds through, if not the full 6. Like, at this point you want to be 4-2 up before the switch. That is the best place to be for Clubhouse on the defense, 4-2 up, and then you've got yourself a good start for the attacks. But honestly, I have no idea what to expect since Carlstad absolutely wiped the first map, and Blue Jays were so promising at the start of the second map, but only narrowly won when it came to the final of Bank. So realistically, Clubhouse, I haven't really got much to go off of, but I reckon it'll be interesting.
Yeah, especially with a buck being banned. Not something I'm used to seeing. I actually don't think I've ever seen a buck ban. We saw the sledge in the previous game. That one made a little bit of sense. It was a little bit of a target ban, but buck off the board. Questionable to say the least. The Thatcher ban, obvious. Clash, again, questionable. I don't think I've ever seen a clash on Clubhouse, much less at this level. So, just different questions from me.
Clubhouse, I mean, the bans are, I think, I'm pretty sure you mentioned already, but very, very standard. And the lineups as well. I mean, we've got Gym Bedroom as a first site, which is typically the more off out of the 3 main ones. I'm not going to include Barstow in my thing here. Gym Bedroom, first up, we haven't got a mirror in play, which is very commonly used, but I'm going to expect a pretty standard extension with cash. Same old, you know, Israel, but you just actually take a shotgun once to the back, taking a bit of damage after you start off round number 1 in a lovely, lovely manner.
See, he dropped about 104 HP and 110. I don't think he's too upset about that one, but still not something you want to happen, especially in round 1 of the game.
The Echo shotgun is the interesting one. They have got the Rooney, they have got the cross the secondary shotgun and a mute as well with the shotgun, so I don't think it's a case of having the open rotates. I think we have plenty in case of that. So maybe it's just a preference of liking the Echo shotgun, which
that would be a new one. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever seen somebody like the Echo shotgun. The Supernova is a good shotgun and all, but the MP5 SD is like a beast of it, so.
And Echo himself really shouldn't be in many close quarter fights where he is able to utilize the shotgun to his best of ability, since Echo, you know, you kind of want to have him alive at the end of the round and you kind of want to be there to stop the denial at the end. So I'm confused what the mental process was here, but I'm sure they've thought it through and actually decided to be right.
They are going to try and get this open, and they will find that mute jammer. It looks like things will be open, and yes, they will. Exothermic charge pops up. Carlstad making much better ground than they were basically the entirety of Bank and a decent bit of Cafe. At least they were taking too much time. They were still winning gunfights, but not biding their time as well. So a good start from them on Club, and they haven't even gotten a kill yet, I'm already saying it.
Yeah, 1 minute off the board. They managed to reach open. They are aware of the player on main stairs, as they did take a couple of shots, I believe. Did he get shot away from teammate? Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh, but he made up for it. Someone has made up for it. The nade across takes out that Aruni, who will play no further part. Hunter has also taken damage towards this east side of the building. So the Blue Jays on the back foot on what is usually the 3rd site around. I have to say I'm surprised they went here, but we saw it over on Bank where they decided to go towards some more picked sites earlier on in the half. I guess it's not a terrible decision. You still have to play them at this point. Not a good decision, in my personal opinion, to play these.
Second nade coming out from Maverick, taking out Zarek as well, and then the shot coming through. Neuron. Oh, Ayana jumping straight through on a suicide mission to take out the Jaeger with a pre-fire behind that bed. I mean, the fight is now going down, but it's 3v2 situation. Will Echo with tonight. Echo left in a 1v3 post-farm situation with the shotgun and the bearing 9 in hand. Unfortunately, does get taken out by the attackers as Carlstad do win the opening round for Clubhouse.
Their Japanese counterpart wiping that one off the board. The Type 89 from downtown cleans things up. And Carlstad, after struggling to say the least on Bank, which I have to say I was expecting Blue Jays to win Bank to start things off. After Cafe I was a little wary, but still nobody picks Bank nowadays. So when you pick Bank, it's almost always in your favor, at least strategic wise, because teams just don't practice the map. I have to say I'm surprised that Bank was not banned by Carlstad.
I guess they probably didn't ban it because they didn't expect it to be played. Like, realistically,
Fair.
it was gonna be Cafe Oregon Clubhouse. I'm sure that's probably what they were gonna go for there, since that is what every best of 3
Attackers need to
history
locate and
is.
defuse as many bombs as they can.
That's usually what we see from the squads, and it's understandable to want to play outside the scope of normality, especially when it goes your way in that fashion. And Zarok has taken damage again. Not bad. Guys took damage at 107, so 100% at that one. Still, we will see them head over towards CCTV Cache, and this is what I like to see from the case. They're going with the more uniform play outside the scope of normal. Oh my goodness.
10 seconds remaining.
Not the greatest start from the side of Blue Jays. They have accidentally
5 seconds left
exploded
before
their own
insertion.
shield, but it happens. Okay, wait,
Attackers' objective
mistakes
is to locate a
happen.
bomb
Happy
and
mistakes.
defuse it.
Now they have vertical holes in the stock, if nothing else. Not the most ideal start, but I'm sure they can make do with it. Since, I mean, the Goyo, even without his shield, he still has the C4, he still has the Vector, he's still a very viable player. And he is actually kind of just chilling about in lounges right now. Anyways, waiting for somebody to push through either main door or through garage. But it does seem that the attackers are going to go straight up from the roof. Potentially even go for a construction site take, what I mentioned previously. But the Goyo does get the kill under the Hibana. That is when the hard breach is off the board. Ayana. Never mind. The spectating thing completely threw me off there. Ayana off, that Intel taken off, and 2 nades as well. I mean, they've still got plenty of nades left on the Sledge and the Maverick to rely fall back on, so it's not really the biggest loss here.
Deciding for a more flexible-sided take, and the Maverick unnecessarily wasting a little bit of utility there. They literally have a Sledge moving way across it, but it's perfectly fine. They don't use much to write home about. And now with the Bandit being on the board, these Bandit batteries right here, they're going to be relatively easy to deal with. Or the
Bomb
Bandit
located
battery
by
singular, as
attackers.
This is now a singular wall, by the way.
Oh, it's actually
The Bandit battery singular is going to be a little more difficult in that case to find, because it's in a much more difficult spot to discover. But they should be able to get the ping out, assuming they throw a drone. But with this ADS here, it's going to be difficult to nade. Watch this. This is exactly what's going to happen. They're going to throw a flash in. They're going to burn the ADS. Nade will come through. But first, it's Neuron, but from below. They get the frag there. And, they've actually thrown the flash in, but it hasn't hit that ADS. Will the Maverick expire a nade for it?
for the safer route of just trying to get this Bandit battery off using his
I hear a pre-play C4. Do I? Where is that pre-play C4?
I believe it could be on the wall potentially. Do you know? Is it
I'm not sure. It has to be below, right? I don't know. They're gonna Bandit trick this and perfectly as well. Hunter denies that one. And that's the thing, they're gonna throw C4 into the display, and Hunter's actually taken out anyway. Control taking a little bit of damage. And Blue Jays now go versus 3. They have lost their agility. The team will no longer play a part in this, right? At least for the time being. But the question is, how do they deal with this attack? It's very uniform from Carlstad side and near on the flank. They're going to make their way around. They will make their way through. They're going to get one. They'll look for 2. They get the second as well. The quad in the round. Will they get the matter? You better believe they will. Blue Jays win round 2. A flanking 4K from the Jaeger nets it for them. What a play.
Oh, a play to wake us up for sure. That is a great, brilliant fucking start. This is looking absolutely phenomenal right now. Oof. Oof.
Yeah. No kidding. Wow. Oh my. That woke me up. You said something to wake us up. Through 2 maps, I have to say I'm exhausted, but I think I'm good to go now. Wow, that's an interesting swap. One that actually makes a decent bit of sense. Those Shumika launchers do a relatively similar
Defenders,
job
protect
that
your
these
bombs from
smoke
being
grenades do.
defused by
Those
attackers.
toxic babes are eerily similar to the napalm expended. However, is the DP-28 as effective as that Mossberg showcase and, well, Mark Anthony is?
It is relatively good as well as
Attackers
being
have
a
discovered
decent.
the location of a
I would say
bomb.
decent. It's a viable weapon as well as being able to open up rotates with it. Bit slow, but it's as you're playing more of an anchory sort of position, it doesn't really matter too much. And if you hit the shot, one bullet for you.
10 seconds left.
It's exciting to try and play bar.
5
They
seconds
want to
left.
play inside. Looks like they do. No way they actually play inside.
Attackers are heading out to defuse
I don't think
the
I've
bomb.
ever seen someone do this.
Not with the hatch reinforced, no. I've
Yeah.
seen it play.
Like
but
I've seen the hatch like open. I've seen this open. This over here open. They've played a very wide hold, but it doesn't even look like they're gonna play inside of bar. No, they just want to throw it away. And
just for waste time.
apparently, I mean, it's not a terrible idea. Wasting time's not the worst thing, and you can see some mute chamber here that will disallow some information. So seeing this barricade up may give away the notion that somebody's here when literally nobody is.
What is that hold actually for? Like, is there anybody there?
Switching to AR.
Drone is ready to
I suppose Malusi is nearby. We do have the Banshee on the main stairs, so that gives us that sound cue as if anybody pushes down, as well as the feet holes across bar as well, so if anybody decides to push through that way, she will be able to get a couple shots, if not a kill. It's quite a nice position to be playing quite risky as well, since the second she gets thrown out, she is going to have to fall off as shown now, as the Hibana does take control over the main stairs.
The important part there is the C4 is wasted. It doesn't get any value. It pushes back the Hibana for 2 seconds maximum. But you can hear that C4 rip. The Hibana well read on that side. But another uniformed attack we're seeing from Carlstad. Really focused towards this west side of the building. You can see they haven't even made any progress towards the middle floor, other than maybe Ethan, if you can consider that, and someone finally pushing over towards the strip hall. But struggling to establish control are Carlstad Kings, and that's not what you want to see with
One night left in Golden. Only now to get this hatch open using Maverick as well, which is probably the more slow option, but I suppose it is doing it quite fast, I'll be completely honest. Like, that is some speedy Maverick going.
Attackers have located a bomb.
There you go. Hatch is already open. It took them about 15 seconds to do. But now as we reach this 40-second mark, a lot of this post-plant utility, or pre-plant utility, will come through, including weapons. Zara, build even frag. That MP5K playing through the hatch is a dangerous weapon at that. Trying to continue off of it as well, but Carlstad just focusing way too much on their individual plays. They're going to take a decent bit of damage as well. You can see things being locked down. Another streak goes in. There's no way they can say goodbye to this without taking damage, and they have to drop the hatch. Hunter will be dropping, at least now for the time being. Go on through that main door. It will deny the utility and the action of Nero. Gets one. They look for the dropping kill. It will be Nero. It will be Zarok to close things out. The combination play from him wipes out this attack. And there you go. Another turn back round. Blue Jays just wiping out Carlstad in 2 straight.
I mean, as per normal when it comes to Clubhouse, the bottom floor always ends in the last 20 seconds. I have to say, I don't think I've ever seen that site been played and it's gone like in the first minute or two. It always comes down to the very last moments when that site is either won or lost. And point proven, everyone just died in the last like 10 seconds.
Welcome to the 15-second meta there, Blix.
Yeah, it's something that should have been
Defenders, protect your
gone off
bombs
of,
from
but
being
I
used
guess
by attackers.
on Clubhouse.
Camera ready to activate. Join the view.
Explosive ordnance
Early
deployed.
plays
APS deployed and ready to go.
They're going to see the Vulcan fields from the Goyo, but hopefully they don't get exploded this time. Last time around didn't really go their way. Again, they won that round anyway. I don't think they're too upset about it. I do have to point out though, a more CCTV and Carlstad pick really leaves you susceptible to these have
5 seconds to go.
And with that mirror, it does null some of that.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb
We're
and
seeing
defuse
a
it.
similar setup with all of Carlstad taking on deck, where you bring like 19 C4s.
Both like they have got the Valkyrie and Jim is one of the fights, but I think as well. It's indestructible. It's optional CCTV too, as well. Just like one of the things. It's the clubhouse, the entire top floors. But I guess it makes sense. But one thing I don't understand is that previous round they did have a lot more of a stronger hold when it comes to the Jacuzzi side take. But as of this time they've extended over, despite the fact that Carlstad did end up actually pushing Jacuzzi previously. So they've just completely annulled what information they do have on the way Carlstad plays and decided to go for the extension this side instead. Which doesn't make sense to me, but I guess changing it up is probably what's required. I mean, they haven't got the Echo on the shotgun anymore, they haven't got the Frost anymore, they swapped out for the Goyo and the Mira, the rest seems to be pretty... I think that's the only thing they're doing.
Look across and they're just gonna hop on a drone, play the information game for Carlstad. But the Blue Jays, I like how they're setting things up over towards Jacuzzi. Bringing the Mira allows them to play ball game in Jacuzzi and over towards logistics. If somebody decides to go over there, it is control position. You're just gonna bide their time. This vector will make the lives of Carlstad difficult. And actually, Neuron being taken out will make it a little easier, as Jaeger, the lone player without a C4, is taken off the board. So the extent to secondary utility are 4 C4s.
The one tap onto the drone. Big players, big players. 1 minute left on the clock. It's a 5v4 situation with the sledge and about 70 HP. I don't even know how the HP system works. But other than that, everyone seems to be in pretty good condition. They got a breach open. Still a minute left on clock, and they've got something to work with. Attack and defenders right now could go either way, but no, as I say that, that is Zarek off the board from Nate.
Gathering intel. Contact!
Oh, is that...
It's a smoke. They will have a C4 but out control to drop Askell, and they get a kill onto Blue as well. Askell's still down, and Ethan's gonna take some damage. Hunter getting the frag there, but someone finally finished off. Bearing 9 in hand here, but in goes that one. He's alive for the time being. They actually get the kill into control. Spliss turn it back. It's now into the triple for Ethan. They look to clutch things up, but Spliss with a kill of their own. They're gonna break that mirror window and play from behind it. They're just playing behind it. They look to throw the C4. It's Ethan with a 4K. It's turned right back. We're dead even at 2.
Okay. I mean, it's 2-2. It's not the worst place to be. They've gone gym bedroom twice in a row. It's not the worst. Not in a row, sorry, twice in a total. So, I mean, they've gone the offsite. I mean, did they win it the first time, lose it the second?
No, they lost it both times.
Did they lose it the first? No, I was sure. Wait, did they?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
'cause
they did lose it
Carlstad-
the first time.
Yeah, and then Blue Jays got 2 straight after the Nero flank, and then of course the bottom floor.
Attackers
stress
need to
play
locate
from
and
Carlstad.
defuse as many bombs as they
And
can.
Now it's back to CCTV.
Okay, so after
Stop worrying about
I
grenades
honestly
now.
thought they won gym bedroom the first time. I was so confused why they stopped everything out. But I guess it makes sense.
Attackers have located a bomb.
ATF active in a second.
Okay, we got the Echo again on board. We've got the Maya, the Jaeger, the Nile. Makes sense for the amount of nades that are coming through inside the attackers. I think they've lost at least 3 players in the course of the last 4 rounds. purely to nade. So bring in
5
the
seconds to go.
utility now, sorry, it's probably the play here.
Attackers are heading out.
Bandit is pretty standard considering the fact that Tired is off the board, so they will be able to Bandit trick. Potentially others with a Maverick is going to be quite difficult for them. Everything else seems pretty
Unsurprising. Unsurprising, you were talking about the Wamai, the dual utility denial is exactly what it is. Dying is not always fun, so, well, understandable. And those are the frustrating deaths, the ones you really can't, like, deal with, or really, I don't even know how to put it. The ones you can't solve, because playing information is going to get you killed. So it just... Okay, apparently Instill is use Sledgehammer to break open the unreinforced part of that, which you can see it is still
Attackers have located a
on
bomb.
that wall. They're just trying to make someone's life a little easier, and apparently failing to do so, which is making their own life a little bit harder.
It's going to be very risky for them because that person on that red door, all you need is one bullet and you go but you go for it. Hey, manages to get out of the wall system open, so maybe not.
Nah, he needs to get this little part in the middle. You can see that's the only side of it. He's struggling with it.
There we
He opens
go.
things up. C4 wildly close. That he threw it straight at the wall and it hit absolutely. Questionable, I have to say. For me.
I think he was
I
probably
think,
expecting it to be fully open, but it kind of bugged.
yeah. Yeah, well, I think that's the new way that Siege plays. You have the two sides of the wall, and you have that inside. And, well, with the Sledgehammer, it can only get one side. And with Bandit, well, Bandit tricking as such, this Kairos cannot get him.
Yeah, the Maverick now as well. We have the bottom of it and Nade, still might end up forward as well. The shot come out above the Spartan and Ayana. Sledge left in a 1v4 situation right now. Will he be taken out the same way as his teammates? He does get taken out by Neuron. That shotgun is either the most lethal weapon in the game or the most inconsistent thing ever. Like...
Yeah, seems about right for me. Blue Jays up onto 3. They win CCTV cash, and the last time around on Church and Arsenal, they just delayed Carlstad so well that Carlstad needed to push within 10, 15, 20 seconds with very little utility burned on the defense, and that's one thing that's also effective. The best way to push in with little time left is to burn utility on the defensive side early, and we just haven't seen Carlstad do that.
I think this has all been about time as of right now. The last 2 games, this game, everything has
protect
come
your bombs
down.
from being defused by attackers.
Well, you're seeing a bit of utility being utilised, we've got the C4 being and the C4 is plenty at safe as well. But like, it's just always comes so close to the end. Always! I want to see some fast plays. You know, it's all fun and games leaving it to the last 10 seconds to actually watch something. But, you know, I wanna see the rest of the game. And I wanna go back.
Round number 4, I believe, was probably it was either that or Neuron's flank were the two most
10
exciting.
seconds left before insertion.
Yeah.
Neuron just like Stevie Cash. That made
5 seconds
lives
left.
and well the mentality of Carlstad just shocked. And you have to
Attackers
feel
are
bad for
moving
him.
out to locate a bomb
Neuron
and
just
defuse it.
An amazing flank. Nice job, dude. That's my little high five of approval to spin around your body. But I have to question now, can they do anything similar? They locked things down. For some reason, don't reinforce blue patch. They do have no reinforcements left over, so I guess that is kind of the culprit as to why. But they're playing a much more spread out hold this time around. 2 players on the top floor, Neuron over towards the blue side, and it looks like it's going their way as Askel takes out Instill. That's not good.
So, a reason for that, or was it complete accidental?
I have to feel like he had an illegal skin.
That's gotta be it. Was he not the Sledge previous one?
I don't know.
Well.
You can't see. It was right here. So there's no way it was like accidental, especially with how many shots we heard come out from that ARX. So
yeah,
he had to have had a legal skin. Also, they haven't taken out default cam. The default cam's just watching Askel. So,
Yikes.
yeah, please shoot your default cam. The information's there. They're gonna play around it, but Ethan will take out splits. So, a little bit better, but it's a dual-pronged attack. They're playing the top and middle floors equally as aggressive between them. So it helps them clear and, well, helps wipe out the entirety of the room, which has been dealt with.
Well, 1 minute 33 left on the clock, and we have a 4v4 situation with players being taken out on either side. Even though that just taken out by his own team. It happens. And they're getting a hatch up as well. It's much quicker than they did on their previous attacks, as I believe it's the last 45 seconds. Before managed. This will give them a bit more time to kind of make their way into sight as opposed to having to rush drop the hatch in the last 20 seconds, which is not going to end very well for them, especially with this. Is there even? There's no C4s. There's no impact to C4s, so smoke canisters. No smoke canisters here.
Hunter with the toxic phage in hand, the last remaining for the plant denial, other than. But a lot of the utilities are already been destroyed on the side as well. You can see one nade already used from someone. There is still a nade available. But we have one nade remaining. And flashes are still on the board as well. So it's decent from Carlstad. They have bided their time a little bit better. They've managed it much more efficiently, but, well, they've still died. As someone has been good nighted officially. Well placed shot across. The MPX, 10 shots still one-shot players. As Control and Mira, they're gonna wipe things out. Blue Jays just to win yet another round. They clear out the first half 4-2. You can see even with the flashbangs coming through, he was fully blind and still just wiped out that Hibana. It's Carlstad dropping yet another round. Blue Jays head on to their attack with the 2-round lead.
I mean, Blue Jays have definitely shown their skills compared to that first map. That's like, they're absolutely wiping right now with Carlstad. Like, they're winning their gunfights, they're taking control. Like, it's just, it's looking really, really well, really good for them right now. They had their warm up and they're ready. I mean, they're now on the attack. 4-2 up, as I said, would be the best place for them to be. Like, the worst case scenario would be a 4-2. The best case would be a 6-0. Let's be real. Hey, 4-2 is a very, very good stand. We do see a castle being played in defense.
From being defused by attackers.
I know likely. Unless they're gonna go for like a full-on like SSG roam, which it looks to be the case.
Oh, they're playing SSG!
yeah, that's the only time I ever see a castle being played.
We have to find out where the drones are. So we got one here. This would find out if it was bottom floor. That's the general goal of this drone. If it goes downstairs, this is ruined. We're following a drone for the first time in prep phase. They will see a Legion on the bottom
10
floor.
seconds remaining.
It sounds like they've heard the bombs as well. All bombs have been found. They don't want to spot the bomb officially though.
5 seconds left.
This round could go the way of Blue Jays. They have to rush this perfectly.
Bomb located by
Bomb's been
attackers.
found. Oh no, they
Attackers
need to head back downstairs. The defense could be in an awful position here. There's only one person on the bottom floor. Oh no.
I mean, completely rushing blue now would be the main play for the side of the attackers. I do believe that is the main weak point of this strat. Does it appear that they are dropping back? I can't really tell.
We've seen reinforcements dirt, so that's one thing that's good for Carlstad. So blue had to have been the push, but with blue, the person, instead of the call in blue position, well, it's made the lives of Blue Jays a little bit more difficult, and the extremeness of the roam I thought was going to go against them is a little less infatuated.
I think spotting the drone, the bomb there kind of killed it. I think a rush though, a rush on this sort of strat is the best way to play it. I thought we were finally going to see a fast gameplay, but
are we? Yes, we are. Down goes blue. They're going to continue off of it as well.
Nice shot. Christian already made herself into Arsenal. That is already set control of the attack. Double kill coming out of the build.
Oh.
The triple kill! The flick! Oh my gosh, what was that? There are 2v4 in favor of Blue Jays right now. It's 2v3 situation, sorry. And everything's happening one by one. We leave Mute left in a 1v2 to defend Arsenal all on his own. Defuser has been dropped.
Out. They have to control. A little bit of damage done, but it is the M4 of control to wipe out the round. that was a thriller right there. Finally one that didn't happen in the last 30 seconds, and sometimes you just have to hold W. That's exactly what Blue Jays do. It works out in their favor. They take 5 rounds, and at this point they show no signs of stopping.
The flick from that twitch onto the player in blue was absolutely insane. Like, you got the double kill and did not slow down. Like, the confidence, you saw it, you went for it, he got it. That was mental. And we're gonna go now onto gym bedroom, and it seems to be a similar lineup to what we did see on the set of Blue Jays on their first
Defenders, protect your
defensive
bombs
round,
from
using
being
the Frost
defused by
and
attackers.
the Harpoon. The only difference is obviously the shotgun, which is probably a
Full reinforcements nearly done.
I don't know how it's going to go. We will see, of course, you can see some in the bottom. And we're still extremely shocked. But, well, not as extended of a roam as I'd expected. It's not with as much utility as you anticipate. With
10 seconds
not being locked in at all.
5 seconds left.
like gym bedroom
Attackers
is
are
kind
moving
of
out to locate a bomb.
you're not making your extension. Just tell what you do for it. It's the best way to play it. I'm yet to see another way of playing gym bedroom as an extended cash.
I like the vertical play. I usually like to see teams go like down towards billiards, maybe try and play over towards bar, but just deal with that swiftly.
Yeah, I cast only people, I don't do that.
I mean, I do too. But, like, I cast NA team, so we have brain cells.
Yeah, you guys are
What, did I say
you
that
guys
loud?
have
What?
you guys have your
Located.
strange range of doing things over there. We have EU. We do things one way or no way.
Setting the welcome mat.
And if you do it any other way, it tends not to work.
I suppose that's fair.
We just have ranked monkeys.
Control is going to play the Maverick trick again, this time from a... I love to see how effective Maverick players are. It usually doesn't go their way, I'm not going to lie to you, but Control has been extremely effective and very well disciplined with Maverick play, but there's a just chilling on this rotate. Looks like they have timed things correctly, and Askell actually timing things perfectly on the other side of the map. They that Blizz eventually. We're gonna see the push start to come in, but it's a little too late. They've already lost the player.
Managed to even it up with a 4v4 situation as the Ash gets the kill onto the mute there. So actually I am Ash. GC. Melusi's on significantly low health here. It's going to be quite dangerous for her to go for any sort of aggressive play, and as I say that, she does get taken down. And that is her finished off by Zara. Second kill off the ground, making his way into the Ayana typically. The Ayana Ash thing, the GC always throws me off. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it throws everybody off. Don't worry. We'll see an age. Control takes out the defense. Defense is falling apart, it seems, and they're being ripped up as a nice jump in. Who takes care of it? They're taken care of just as fast. It has to be the flank. We've seen a Jaeger flank just from the opposite direction. In good play, they are found out, but Hunter will be taken out. Blue Jays will get the diffuser down. It is the ace to play.
Attackers activating.
Control needs to make their way in, and they've made their life a little bit. They have the Frostbat. This round's over. Control caught in the Frostbat. Carlstad win the round. Oh no. Oh my, it has happened. That's...
Defenders have disabled the bomb.
Frostmat just won a
Bomb
league
defusing
game, a
attempt failed.
semi-finals.
Defenders win.
Not entirely, but a round in a semi-finals. That's not something you see every day, but something I am quite glad to see since I'm a bit of a Frost fangirl myself. I do quite like a bit of Frost play in competitive, since typically the players in competitive are much of a higher skill level, and therefore they kind of like, don't expect the Frost as frequently, and maybe, even though they may just pre-fire, and when it comes to late rounds you kind of forget she's there. Frost herself as well, providing the shield and a decent gun and a secondary shotgun. She is a very viable operator, which does not get picked as frequently as I would hope. But I mean, suppose with the removal of the 1.5, she's not as viable as she was previously.
I still
But,
like that new hollow that she's got. That
Mm.
along with her 9mm weapon, no
Defenders,
recoil. It
protect
reminds me a
your
little bit of
bombs
the
from
UMP,
being
but does
defused
a
by
little bit more
attackers.
damage with a little bit of a higher
Mhm.
fire rate. That's what I like about it. And of course,
Again,
So
the
far. Sorry, go ahead.
I love it, the double utility denial. Yeah, again being brought through. Fair enough with the amount of the copious amount of nades being brought. Both teams so far. They like their nades, don't they?
oh, they love them.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds to go.
Continue.
I was just gonna point out how we
Attackers,
see
locate
that
and defuse the bomb.
through, but on the bottom floor they decide to keep the intel and utility denial, but the denial versus the mute with the hard breach, well, rejection you could say, and we're going to see these possibly double, but it still looks to make it
Drone toss and a half. What was the need?
that should be a official football.
I mean, they are able to get dirt open now, which will make the defenders a bit more wary of the dirt push, kind of diverting at least one of the players' attention to that, makes one person less to worry about for the remainder of the site. So even though they're not going to go for a push down as of yet, they could do later on in the round, maybe when they're least expecting it, or when they start running out of time, to provide them with that extra. Drone, the Valkyrie here does get drone on main stairs, forcing her to retreat off, but she is able to shoot the drone on the way down. So it's a win on her behalf, so obviously main stairs is important. C4 comes up but does not land. That is a C4 off the board as well. A bit of a utility waste, but it could have landed. It could have. But I suppose we still have got the C4 on the mute to rely on late round.
Attackers have located a bomb.
The amount of times that Neron just ADS, I'm pretty sure he just had an aneurysm. I'm not 100% sure why that actually just looked in 17 different directions.
He's got a roll here. He got him working for him. He's got him absolutely demolishing for 11 and 4. Maybe constantly ADS and killing.
Yeah, I guess so. Look at that.
Had to play
Hunter does
Rainbow
it
Six.
and gets a
ADS. Spam your ADS and you get kills.
Easy clap. Sometimes that's all you need to do. We will see a nade prepped. I'm pretty sure there's an ADS there. Yeah, that will be caught out by an ADS. That one just denied. Another one will go in. Ground created. As control will look to establish some control. Ironic name, by the way. But they will take out that their squad. Put down. I think it's in comes Absolute, take out control, and this is bad. The shotgun from the side, Blue with the kill. It's into the 2 versus 4, and the AR so much, especially if one of them is off the board. This round's over. Kings win yet again. They brought it within one.
This is such a close game. We're going for another pause, however. So
Dave said pause. Look at that. Look at that. He said pause. Oh my goodness. See? I could pause it as well. That's outstanding.
I'll give you enough time to do so.
Technical timeout, which is what that stands for, by the way. But they pause things. They want to take a little bit of a second just to speak with each other. And understandable as well. You dropped a couple rounds in a row. One of them could have been avoided. I'm not going to lie to you. But you just have to make sure you manage your time. And on the attack, they've struggled to do so. Any round past the first one, well, we're going to have to see that change. And I honestly say, I have to say, we have to see that change like right now.
I mean, CCTV cache will be the next round, next site we do see. Valid. I mean, we're not seeing any sort of electricity on the board as of yet, but I suppose they could search onto it if they were required to. we've got the mute to deny the wall, but although with the recent mute jammer changes, he's not as effective in doing so. And we have got the A, so we'll still be able to get the wall open just as well around the little sphere thing, which makes no sense to me, but I guess it's kind of, it makes sense, it also doesn't, but hey.
Oh, Montane? Is this the first shield we're gonna see today?
Unfortunately.
Will it stick? Will it stick?
I don't need
Looks
to see
like
a shield today. You know what? I
That's,
can do.
I love shields. Shields are fun.
Shields mean slow plays.
Attackers
I
need to
can't bother
locate
for
and
shield.
defuse as many bombs as they can.
The only reason I wouldn't like shields is if I'm playing against a shield and I'm not playing.
I mean, it's HDTV, so realistically, what we're going to see is the monsters are playing crap to the pressure garage. That is the main play of the Monty having the breach open, allowing the monster to basically says good night to the person in the rafters, and hope they enjoy watching it instead. But other with Thunderbird in play now, Rafters is actually a bit different to what we have like. The Thunderbird will be able to obviously replenish the person playing on Rafters, giving them a bit more health to rely on, and the ADS as well will deny any sort of nade coming through, but I suppose the amount of
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Actually, these cameras snowballs. Never mind. The disconnect
Had a
actually from
rehost.
the side of Carlstad.
No, they've called a rehost.
Okay.
Yeah, they have called a rehost. We're gonna rehost, and I'm just gonna set things up. So yeah, so thrilled to rehost yet again. But we're gonna send it to a quick technical pause. I promise this won't take any more than 2 minutes. Stick with us. Don't go anywhere.
You're so perfect, and now I need you. Need me. It's so perfect the way you play me. It's pathetic the way you pull me.
Welcome back. Apologies for the little bit of an extended delay. I told you it wouldn't take any more than 2 minutes, and I lied. My apologies for that one. FH is what they're saying in chat. They are merely just saying have fun. But yeah, we're headed into round 10. Back to CCTV and cash. Go Carlstad. And after the rehost, we are getting things back underway. Blue Jays were having a little bit of a lag issue, so that's why they wanted to make sure it was rehosted. They just wanted to make sure everything was good to go. Now, Blix. Carlstad now on the defensive side, establishing some control. Do you think they can bring things back here?
Honestly, I think so. It's CC Cash, a very, very strong site for the defenders, unless the attackers are a bit... If they don't take control within the first minute and a
Defenders,
half,
protect your
it's
bombs from being
3 games
defused
for
by
them.
attackers.
I think that's like, first half of the round, it's what you have, basically, on this site. Because it can go either one way, but... Yeah, honestly, I think this could go honestly, they could pull this through. It's going to be an overtime game. And I'm going to just say it now, it's going to be an overtime game. The way the first 2 maps were played, I'm pulling it back over to this one. It's so close.
Sometimes it's just small mistakes that have turned it back and forth. You saw jumping on a frost mat on Gym and Bedroom once in that round.
Yes.
And I feel
5
like
seconds left.
if you limit mistakes, that you're the team to win. But,
Attackers' objective is to
why
locate
is
a bomb
the
and
camera...
defuse it.
What? Huh?
Does she know how
What? If you put the meat chamber there, it's easy to get this side. They've just given away half the wall. Unless, oh no, they put a second one. They put a second one. Ah, he's smart. I like it. Good job. I was very confused. Now I'm not. Well done, Carlos.
It did almost look like a free ball. But hey.
I was
mean,
concerned, but we're good.
Yeah, Mavericks didn't play it anyway, so it's not really a big delay. I honestly think banning the Maverick over a Thatcher in the house is so much easier. It makes so much more sense to me. With a Thatcher, you can still ban it, but with a Maverick, you can buy a wall.
See the drones here. Just do their due diligence. Cross their T's, dot their I's, and... Oh, is that Ethan that has been found out? No, Ethan's on the bottom floor. So Ethan is still yet to be discovered. We will see the Maverick make their way over towards this construction side and open up this wall themselves. Not surprising, they will open up more of a rectangle on
A
this
bomb
half.
has been
and
located.
They'll make their way in. But Blue playing close range. Last time out, we saw a multi-kill, and this could be a dangerous reset. Peekin to establish some control, but Zarok is the first to get a frag. It is the G36 of that Ash to net the drone. I think they've missed drones. They have done just
Bomb
that, but no,
located by
that's a questionable decision, I gotta say.
He gives away his position. I was absolutely misjudged. I mean, all you have to do is wait and just rush out with a shotgun, because that was like 3 of them sitting in construction.
Round. Oh no, they found out the mute. No, he misses. Oh no, he prones and has to un-ADS. That's bad. The C4 misses coming. So they are still low on HP. Neuron is as well, and there goes Blue. They are shot from behind. Control gets it through a wall. Oh, that's just unfortunate.
Mute should have died a long time ago, but I mean, he had a couple seconds left of his life. I mean, Ace is left now, really low HP here. The 5v3 situation in favor of Blue Jays. Maybe it could potentially experience the match point.
could, but at the same time, Carlstad got in it. And as I say that, they drop yet another player. It's into the 5 versus 2. Blue Jays looking to win CCTV and cash, and if they do, they've made the lives of Carlstad just that much more difficult. The people will not find anything. C4 will go in. Will it hit anything? No. No shot out of the air. Oh my God. He keeps their teammate alive. The diffuser's planted into the 4 versus 2. The play in. The Blue Jays have kept themselves alive and kept the diffuser on the ground.
Down. It's a 3v2 situation in favor of Blue Jays. The plant's down. It doesn't even matter what happens right now. As long as, unless they manage to get these 3 kills.
Oh.
Down at 1-3 situation. Jaeger left alone. We get taken out by Hunter. As Blue Jays do put them into match point 6-4. It's so close though that Carlstad honestly could win these next 2 rounds before it enters overtime. Or Blue Jays could completely wipe over this next site. It could go either way, but whoever wins it, like, I suppose we have got 2 more rounds for Carlstad to pull through. Blue Jays win 1 more and they take these semis.
Last time around on Gym Bedroom, I have to say, this may be an American term, but Vietnam flashbacks may be there for Blue Jays. You can see the Frost mat last time around, and we're seeing the 6th pick. This could be dangerous. You have the Frost, you have the 6th pick to the Frost, so they may not be expecting it. And unless they drone in and figure out the Frost mats are there, their lives are going to be made just that much more difficult.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Even with a Frost, it can waste, even if a couple seconds when they jump through the wall, but when we're not entirely sure whether or not they can enter a room, a couple shots they fire in order to check if there's a Frost not there. Not only does it give away their position using the weapon, again, time is the main factor. And if they don't go for the check, they don't spend this time running out, firing it or whatever, they could actually lose their life, which is the case previously, which is predicting about the Frost entirely.
10
Two
seconds
jammers
left.
are placed, so they will deal with these walls yet again, but this time from the
5
opposing
seconds to
site.
insertion.
And of course, they are relatively easy to play with. If you have a member who's go in
Attackers
and
are
deal with
moving out to
you
locate a
can
bomb and
have
defuse
that
it.
taken care of. But this time, compared to last, a lot of utility invested towards cash and CCTV. We saw the late round utility, or late prep phase utility, and late prep phase reinforcements come in last time around. But I have to question, why invest so much when a lot of times you're just using it to go like and you could invest it.
It can kind of make sense in the sense that if they apply so much pressure on the CC cache and force these attackers to try and clear them out, they could waste a lot of utility, a lot of, like, even potentially get a pick onto them, if not just waste the time anyways. It's a strong position to have, especially with the long angle onto site as well, so even if they do go for a plant into gym, in some occasions you can see straight from cache, but providing that kind of utility within cache does give them that leg to stand on when it comes to late round. And if they need to go for some sort of
just locking things down and assisting over towards cache. They're playing this view hole perfectly, just to make sure they can play both information and maybe even for frags. But calling off, leaving this Jaeger alone, not something you always want to do. Leaving a player alone, especially when they have no utility left over, no ADSs, no barbed wire, and, well, in all fairness, neither of which would have any effect on them staying alive once being thrown out. But those ADSs already being placed down will keep them up on the board for just that much more longer.
Readying concussion.
a lot of ADSs to be using on the side.
Activating thermal sequence.
Nade from behind.
Still
Won't hit
comes
anything. Oh my. Another one as well, but it won't matter. Asper gets one, but Ethan and someone are dropped. Hunter in that same fray is taken out as well, but Blue Jays on the attack are in such a good position. Sliz, the only one that is merely low on their side, the only one to take damage on the attacking side. Haskell still with a C4, so is Instill, but it's so difficult from this defense. They're in such a bad position nowadays.
43 or 50 seconds left of the clock, and two players have low health, and I don't really know what else to put on. So
Oh, they may have found a flank. Oh no. Askell, they're gonna walk straight into the Sophia. The Sophia has found the flank though. They will peek around and will find the player. They hit the headshot as well. Down goes Askell. Down goes Instill. Blue is the last one that remains for the playoff hopes. They will be tipped down. They will be shot down, but they stay alive. Down into the 1 versus 4. 25 HP is all that remains between them and this match. They're taking out the body shot bandit with the pistol. John Wick comes through. Good night, my friends, and good day. Blue Jays win Clubhouse, and they win the best of 3 in a 2-1 fashion.
That is now Blue Jays going into the finals to verse Noetic, and I do believe Carlstad will now go to verse. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it. Rurstad to. How do you pronounce that last name?
I have no idea. Yeah, that's absurd.
Carlstad will go on to play for 3rd or 4th place, whereas we will see, as I said, Blue Jays going up to finals versus Noetic. This is
heading to play real sports. Okay. Yeah, heading to play them. That's gonna make their lives difficult. A good squad to face, but it's still possible. Of course, it was possible here as well. Just a couple rounds going their way on club, and it goes entirely the opposite way. It could end at 7-4, and that's the beauty of Siege. It's just so give and take.
Like, that game was so close that entire way through. I had no idea what to expect at the ending of it. But you know what? Blue Jays deserve that win. Like, they were so badly messed about in that first map that honestly I would have lost motivation completely after that first game. But they kind of found their ground. They knew what they needed to fix after that first time, and they showed what they were worth. They showed what team they are. They showed what they were capable of, and fair play to them. Very well deserved win. Yeah.
Tomorrow, it's the 3rd place game. Catch us right back here at basically the same time, if my mathematics are not mistaken. Yeah, 1900 CST. It's 7 p.m. Central European and 1 p.m. Eastern for all of you American folk out here. And then Saturday, the 25th, catch us here for a best of 5 finals. That'll start at 6 p.m. Central European. It'll be noon Eastern. If you want to catch it, tune right back in, right back here, same time, same place. Don't go anywhere. But for now, we're done. Unfortunately, that is all we have for you. We had a banger of a best of 3. I want to apologize for the technical difficulties. Unfortunately, sometimes we can't control. But it happens. It is what it is, as they all say. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.